the air. Going out of my mind in the middle, wasting all of my time in the middle, I take a bite and spit it out, unaware of what it's about. I'm not that good at faking it. I feel somehow I've broken it. I don't believe I'm part of it. In the if I try to climb up the wall, everyone can see when I fall. Nothing really matters at all. Pull me out of this place in the middle, nothing more to embrace in the middle,
This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free. Hey y'all, I reckon we're going to do purple smoke today. I don't know why my little informational intro, I gotta kickstart that thing like a damn dirt bike. That thing, I click on it and it acts like it's gonna start, but then it don't. I don't know what is going on with that. So today we're gonna talk about Lilly and Jack. I've got an article to go over with you guys. I have got some videos of mine to talk to you guys about what we know so far and some things that Abella showed me. I know Mercedes sent me some things, but I didn't see any screenshots. However, I did read what she said. So let me say hey to y'all. It's so good to see you, Amy, Joy, Abella's, Bad Girl, Indie Girl, Indie Isham. Shawshank's Redemption, good to see you. Miss Scorpio Rising. I saw that Amanda was back. It's good to see you, love. Miss Sarah. Southern Cats, Orange Rose, Belladonna. There's Amanda. Good to see you, love. Lori Ann is here. Joy is here. Um, a one-way street. Good to see you. I went all the way to the top. Hey, Julie. Cindy from sunny South Florida. Good to see you. I think that might be everybody. Rebecca Ross, Lydia, good to see you. Thank you all for being here. Hannah UK, making coffee. I just got mine. I just got me some. I did. I missed you. Didn't you say you were, okay, you couldn't handle that last case. I thought, you had said that you were, going on vacation. Hey, Miss Norma, good to see you. You can come up anytime you want to. I dropped the link. Hey, Edith and Smartass Patriot. I am gonna play. I'm gonna read an article real quick, and then we're gonna watch videos and talk about details we have so far. Actually, we'll probably watch the videos first. I'm thinking. Um, 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 okay, I did that. All right, so let's. Hey, Sam Brown. Good to see you. All right, so let's go over the dispatch audio first because that kind of starts at the beginning. Now, I listened to this dispatch audio for hours on a day that I had like This is the dispatch audio. The worst headache I had ever had like in my life. It was horrible. But I did pull some things that were important. So we're going to talk about that and what I found important and what we do know for a fact by listening to the dispatch audio. Hey, Anders, little scrotum. You're so funny with that. You know, people who say it's little, most of the time it's not. So I bet you don't have a little scrotum. I can't believe we're talking about scrotums. All right, back to the business at hand. This is the dispatch audio for Lilly and Jack Sullivan. This is May 2nd. This is what I found so far. I need to continue listening to it, but let's go ahead and talk about what this says. That I could find from May 2nd. I've added chapters and captions for your convenience.
Consul Mason, risk manager. Any members on scene there on Garlock Road? Anybody able to obtain some photographs of these children for Stratcoms?
So that was the first thing that I found where they were talking about the children. Oh, Miss Scorpio gifted a membership. That was so sweet and supportive of you. That went to Minion. Oh my goodness, Minion got a membership. Yay. I know Abellis was trying to give Minion a membership. I didn't even see Minion in here yet. Hey, Minion and Kalisa. Yay! I know Abellis was trying to get you one yesterday. So let me grab the crazy train and pick you up on the way to Speculation Station. Just up and past, what was it? Dysfunction Junction. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Thank you so much, Miss Scorpio Rising. That was so sweet of you. Yay! All aboard! Okay. So I found it important. That was the first thing I found where they talk about it and they're looking for photos immediately so they could get photos of the children out. Like there's certain things in this audio I added to because I felt it was important. So we're going to talk about what I feel like is important in this audio. Hey Paramandy, good to see you.
I hear you loud and clear. I don't know if they're back on Pictou County channel or not.
Oh, thank you, bad girl.
Hey, I would hope not. Can you liaise with somebody down there, Bravo 3, if you're heading to the scene to try and get some photographs? You can email them into the risk manager queue if you want. Try and get a media release out.
In the truck, so the car, so that's maybe why I can hear you. Maybe they're on portable and they can't hear you. But I'll be there in a minute. I'm not far, and I'll relay that.
So I felt that was important because it shows us that the audio down there is bad. They've talked about there not being internet and they're not having very good signal. That just shows that even the police have issues relaying, like keeping in contact with people down there because the service in that area is really bad, which means again it's just showing how rural the area is. And and you know there's not a lot of service. It's just out in the sticks.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Anders.
Bravo 3, go ahead.
All right, so there is no portable reception down here. However, the cars do work. So Constable Mason's vehicle now, she's got her radio on the loud hailer, so she'll be able to hear us. She has no phone reception, but she does have photo of the two kids. The 6-year-old is the girl, I believe, and she's wearing pink. The 4-year-old is wearing some blue dinosaur boots.
So it just reiterated that there's no service down there. That's the first time we hear that Lily is the 6-year-old girl and she's wearing pink. To be specific, might be wearing pink sweater, pink pants, and pink boots. Jack has short hair, wearing blue dinosaur boots. He was in a I call him a pamper, pull up, nappy, or whatever. Um, I'm gonna talk more about that. I have that's an important clue for me and for my theory. So we're gonna talk more about that too.
So yeah, I think that's all we kind of have right now.
10-4, since radio service is not bad, do you guys want an extended timer there, a 10-6 timer? And I can give you a monitor?
Yeah, definitely. Give us 2 hours, and then ask the risk manager if he wants Constable Mason to depart there to go get some phone service to send those images or not. The drone operator is still on scene with the mom, so.
So they had drones out there pretty much immediately too, even though there's not a lot of service. Good morning, Rosie. It's good to see you.
10-4.
Further service so you can get those photos to them.
So you want her to go get service to send the photos?
10-4, Sergeant Young.
Yes, Amanda, this is Lilly and Jack Sullivan. Lilly is 6 years old. Jack is 4 years old. They went missing May 2nd, of this year. They're missing from Gerlach Road in Lansdowne Station in Pictou County, Nova Scotia. The parents say that they were laying down in and out of sleep. They looked at each other and realized that they did not hear the children anymore. And so they went and looked for the children, and basically the children have disappeared without a trace. We're going to talk more about the details. That's a basic description of what's going on. This is the dispatch audio. They called 911 between 9:45 and 10 o'clock to report the children missing.
Go somewhere and get service and get those photos sent off.
You're welcome.
Just make sure Mom stays close to the house there in case they happen to sneak out and get back into the house.
So at this point, they had Mom close to the house, again, making sure like if the kids like somehow got back into the house that she was there while everybody else is in the woods searching.
10-4.
Here's services from our pass. Go ahead, let's go for it. You good if I take off from the house and go north up to the lake, just to the north of residence here. Just going to do a low fly around the coast there. That's Lansdowne Lake, just west of Gerlach Road.
So they had the helicopters out there pretty much immediately again just to go search around Lansdowne Lake looking for the children. So at this point, almost immediately, like at the same time that they're getting photos out and a description of the children, they've already got drones in the air. They've got the helicopter going around the lake, making sure mom stays by the house in case the kids come back. They're on top of it. Hey, Abellis, it's good to see you, my love. I'm going to play this if you can hear me, or if you're talking, I can't hear you just yet. But if you can, I'm going to go ahead and play this. Just let me know if you want me to pause. Oh, she's up again. Is that one you? No, I think she muted. I'm going to kick this one. We're going to try that one because that one's muted. Okay. We'll keep
Here.
trying it. Oh, I hear you. I hear
Yay!
you.
I was looking for the chat in here, but I can't see the chat and the video at the same time.
Oh, okay. If you're on your phone, there should be a way that you can like pull it up, but yeah, I don't think you can see the video and the chat at the same time.
Right. So
Okay.
I'll stay on the video. Hi, chat. I love you guys. I can see you in my mind.
Okay. You're so sweet. Bama Cat says, I don't believe they are alive or walked off or taken by strangers. The parents know what they did, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah, we all have a lot of theories. Hey, Mercedes. Hey, Abraham. Good to see y'all.
Hey, Nino.
She.
Hi.
How are you today?
Sleepy.
Sleepy? I was sleepy.
Yeah.
I laid down for a little bit, but I'm good now.
Is that me echoing?
Yeah.
No, I think it might be me. I think.
Okay.
Okay. Better?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so. Yep.
All right.
Okay. Hey, Michael Green Chili Chicken. All right. So I'll continue playing this. Y'all let me know if you need me to pause.
Confirm you want to check the lake kind of northwest of the residence? Yeah, 10-4.
Miss Scorpio Rising just gifted another membership. That was so sweet of you. That went to Direct Current. Direct Current, if you're here and you are aware you were gifted, please tell Miss Scorpio Rising thank you, and I'll grab the crazy train and pick you up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you so much, Miss Scorpio Rising. That was so sweet of you. Hey, Veronica. Okay, so far, again, as soon as they got out there, they got pictures, they got a description, they didn't have good service, they're making sure that they can communicate with each other. They've got drones, they've got the helicopter flying around the lake. That's what we know so far. This is immediately, this was within an hour of them being reported missing.
Right.
Okay, so you're going to do that Lansdowne Lake, is it? Yeah, I just guys have already had a look there. Okay, copy that. Yeah, let me know when you launch, and we're just going to keep working this heavily wooded area just behind the residence. It's expected truck giving the dog a break. We're going to do the residence and property over again while we wait.
Okay, so they have, again, this is pretty much immediately. They've got the picture, description of the kids out. There's no service. They're making sure they can get all this information out. They've got the helicopter over the lake. They're flying the drones. They just said, we're going to give the dog a break and search the residence again. So they've already searched the residence and they're about to search it again. And I think they said something else that I might have missed. Okay. So, I mean, they're on it. They've got dogs, they've got helicopters, they've got drones, they've got communication set up, everything.
Right.
Yeah, I was really impressed with how quickly they got out there and got all that stuff set up so that they could make sure that they were communicating and checking everything real good. Hey, Trailgazer.
Wow.
Okay.
Vickers from Bishop. You copy? Now, in their bedroom, we called this morning, and they haven't been seen since then. I need to get a good statement and figure stuff out.
Was that you I heard on here that was going to do a search of the residence again?
Okay, so here I do have an issue. They state that the children were in their room playing at 8 a.m. and they haven't been seen since. Now, all the stories that we hear is that the parents were laying down, Jack was playing in the kitchen, and Lily was poking her head in and out of the room at 9:45, close to 10 o'clock. They said they hadn't seen the children or heard the children, so they get up and look and they call 911, and it had been about 20 minutes. But if it was 8 o'clock when the children were last seen, there's about an hour and 20-minute discrepancy. And he says that when he realized that he didn't hear them, he immediately got up, he looked, he drove the roads, he checked the culverts, and they called the police. I have an issue with the time frame doesn't add up, because that tells me definitively that it was 8 o'clock that they were last seen, and a lot of people have issue with that. That they're telling the news that they last saw them at 9:40, or heard them playing, which would have been like 9:15, 9:20 was the last time they heard them playing. But they said, why would they say that if the last time they saw them was at 8 o'clock? And my thing with that is, like, as long as you're telling the police the correct time frame, that's what's most important, because they're the ones that are searching, and they're the ones with the abilities to help find these children. At least they told the police the truth. Like, the media is putting the story out there. What's most important for the media to understand is the description, what they look like, how old they are, the autism possibility, and things like that. Not necessarily the last time you saw it, but it still doesn't look good.
I think it's a situation where communication, like facts, just get sort of shifted along the lines of communication. So I think he wasn't the one who initially, spoke to the parents. Like, he's hearing it maybe 5 or 6 people later on. So as the story gets passed around, I think like some facts get moved around. Because like I've seen it in my field where, like, okay, patient history, appendectomy at age 3. No, it wasn't appendectomy. It was gallbladder. Oh, okay, gallbladder. Like, but by the time
Right.
it gets to like, the 4th or 5th person, we just know, okay, like there was abdominal surgery. So it's like, that's what I think happened here, is like, okay, they're receiving the information, but it sort of gets streamlined and shifted as it goes down like the chain of command kind of thing. So that's my opinion, but
Right.
I don't know.
Like playing telephone,
Exactly. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know who this guy is who's like on the radio. I don't know who he is, or if he even spoke directly to the parents. I'm assuming he's getting the information from somebody else, who got it from somebody else, who got it from somebody else, who got it from the parents. So
Right.
Yeah.
that's what I think is happening here. So I don't think it's necessarily like, oh yeah, the parents are being misleading. I just think it's just a shift of information that
Right.
happens when
Yeah.
it goes, down the pipe. So
And
Right.
the time is important, because obviously if the children left at 8 in any way, by car, kidnapped, or walking away, they'll be so much further away. And so if you're looking
Right.
in a forest and you think they're left at 10, you might not go as far as if you think they left at 8 o'clock,
Right. Yep. Those are both great points. And thank you for pointing that out, Abellis. I don't know why I didn't even think about that. That is very important. And thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, y'all both have really good points.
You're welcome.
I highlighted 2 comments that I didn't have time to read. Lala said She also said the children closed the slider behind them when they left that day, but he says he usually has to remind them to close the door. What are the chances? That's another thing
Mhm.
that I've got a problem with in this story is that they say they went out the sliding glass door, but the door was closed. So, and he's always had to remind them to close the door. So you mean to tell me that this one time that they go missing is also the one time they closed the door behind them? I don't know. That's weird to me, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah.
Um, Go ahead, love.
No, no, sorry. I'm just saying, yeah.
Oh, okay. PG Little Girl, good to see you. Said, in my opinion, if you look at the pictures, Daniel done catfishing fish. He's very well aware of the waters and surrounding and hollers and stuff. I think they need to check in the culverts. It's
Mm,
possible. I'll go ahead and tell you my issue with the children being missing in the woods. My issue is the pull up, okay? The pull up would have come off by now. Whether it fell off, whether the child took it off, it would be so full of mess that it would have come off. And I think the dogs would have smelled it. I
mm,
don't think that they're anywhere near that. I think that that would have been found. The dogs would have smelled it and picked up on it, especially when you got trained dogs to smell and track humans. I don't know if cadaver dogs have been out yet. I'm sure they have. But I really think that that pamper would have been located by now if they were out there.
right.
Susan and All I Need Is Jesus. Good to see y'all. And Boomer, good to see you, love. I don't like the mom leaving either and then blocking the stepdad on Facebook and like not even talking to him at all. Like what are you gonna do if he finds your kids? Like how is he gonna tell you? I don't like that either.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. They were going to do the property and the residence again.
Copy that.
Copy, and just for everyone's awareness, based on the profile, the children could have traveled at least 6 kilometers. So keep that in mind.
It's a long way.
It is. I do believe it's like almost half a mile. I think it's like 0.6 mile. That
Uh,
is a long way.
6 kilometers? No, it's more than that. 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers.
Oh, okay. So let's see.
So about what, 4 miles?
3.
Something.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
Might have had that wrong. Oh, yeah, it's 3.7 miles.
Right.
So that's pretty far on foot.
Mm-hmm. Especially for the little one.
Right.
Lily may be able to do a little more than Jack,
You
Right.
know what that tells me actually? That kind of indicates to me that they're not going based on the 8 a.m. Last sighting or last hearing. To me, it seems like they're going based on they were actually last seen the night before. And then they weren't seen again after that. They were seen when
Oh,
they were
okay.
put to bed, and nobody saw them again after that. So when you put like 6 kilometers, like, yeah, that's a lot for kids to cover,
Yeah.
Right.
especially in that terrain.
Yeah.
So when you start the search, supposedly these kids, have not been seen, or the last time was 8 o'clock in the morning. How are they going to cover 6 kilometers when they're doing the search, like a few hours later?
Yeah.
That's not what it tells me. To me, it tells me like, oh, you're going based on the fact that like you're adding actually more time to the time of disappearance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. And also 6 kilometers in woods where
Yeah.
there's bush and trees falling down and water and I don't know.
Yeah, those are good points that I didn't think of either. Yeah, you've got to be adding some time frame to that. Like, I mean, I suppose you would add a little bit just to try to be on the safe side, but that's quite a bit. Yeah, so that does tell me also that yeah, they're given extra time.
Like even in a straight line on flat ground, say they walked on the street, on the road, 6 kilometers is a hell of a long way, you know.
Right, yeah, I walk. Like when I walk, I speed walk, and it would still take me a while to walk that far.
Yeah,
Like, and I'm an adult with a bigger spread, spread between my steps.
right.
Um,
Woo!
Miss Scorpio Rising gifted 5 speculation station memberships. That is 7 today. Thank you so much.
Wow, nice.
You're so sweet. I really appreciate that. Those went to Dara D, Shelley Bullock, Elizabeth Vaughn, 1, Cody Visconti, and Rhonda Brown. If you were gifted from Miss Scorpio Rising and you are aware you were gifted, please tell Miss Scorpio thank you. And I'll grab the crazy train and pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station just past Dysfunction Junction. Thank you so much, Miss Scorpio. You know, I'm going to go back up to this one comment that I saw. Yes, this one. That I've thought about. I don't talk about Sebastian a lot because there's a lot of drama surrounding that case. But
Mm.
Shawshank's Redemption says so. Katie left when Sebastian Rogers went missing, and she got the 3rd degree for leaving. No one has said one negative thing about her leaving. What's wrong with this picture? And I agree. I'll be honest with you. I've thought about that. That has crossed my mind as well. I think Katie caught some hell for leaving, and some people have said something to the mom about leaving too. We do know that there was an argument of some sort that happened. I also know from reading an article that we're going to talk about in a video I did that what happened is they were giving a debriefing of what had happened so far and what their plan was. And the mother went and sat in an ambulance, in the back of the ambulance. And then her mother came and she left from the ambulance with her mother. So I'm thinking that maybe the mother was having some kind of panic or anxiety attack. And if you add the children missing, the argument that had just ensued, more than likely, and the fact that there's something going on involving Child Protective Services with the youngest child, I could definitely see her having a panic attack. Leaving and blocking is an issue for me, but I could understand, sitting in the ambulance. I don't know why she left, but that's
But
what I know.
didn't Sebastian's parents move?
So no, Sebastian's
Oh,
parents
okay,
have
okay.
not moved.
Okay. I thought they had sold the house and moved.
Oh, wow.
I don't know where I got that from.
It was a rumor going around. No, they still own
Okay.
that house. They still live there. So what happened with Sebastian was Katie went with Chris in the camper to go get the camper and move it, I do believe, which was in Mississippi. Now, I don't know. When my child had just gone missing, I would be thinking I'd be staying at the house. But you add in that, people were already scoping out the property, making videos of things. I mean, I guess I could see being concerned for safety. But I don't know. I don't like when parents leave an area. That's just me. I don't.
Mhm.
I mean, again, just like with these kids, I personally don't think that the parents had anything to do with either situation, or Dylan for that matter. I think that somebody kidnapped these children, Sebastian, Dylan, Summer, and Lily and Jack. But that's just me. I think that if the parents had something to do with it, we would see some kind of arrest or something by now. Maybe not with Lily and Jack, but the rest of them definitely.
So from the clips that I remember seeing, I think I think I might be getting my timelines confused, but I thought that the police had debriefed the family and they showed them a map of of the area that they had covered so far, and they showed them in the photos you could see the red flags of the areas that had been searched and they hadn't found anything. So you see in the news clip where the family breaks down crying because the police are telling them we just searched this entire area, we haven't found anything yet. That's just a preliminary search. So my understanding was that the mother had a freak out. She she couldn't be there. She couldn't be there because the police had just told her, like, we just searched this entire area and we haven't found your children. So like that doesn't look good. But
Right.
also where she went to is her mother's house, which is on the reserve. It's really not that far from where they are. Like it's not like they didn't go to another city. Like they just,
Oh,
it's really not that far.
How far is
okay.
it?
This
Is it-
place is not, it's not on the reserve, but it's not, it's not, it's sort of like off the reserve,
Okay.
but
I
it's
thought
not
I
there.
thought I heard it was in another county.
Let's see.
I think, okay, so I think this is pick 2 and I think she went to Antigonish, but they're
Okay.
like, they're not like, these aren't great distances they're covering
Right.
here. Like she just went to someone else's home because
Yeah.
I'm assuming, I mean, probably the anxiety and the whole situation of having your children missing, like that's going to get to any mother. So
Yeah, for sure.
that was my understanding.
And what I just said, I thought she went to another county. The county line
No.
would be right next door,
Well, I mean, I cross the county line every time I go to work, but it's just
Yeah.
a bridge. Like
Yeah.
I cross
Yeah.
provinces when I go to work.
Yeah,
But- but I live like on the border, so
Right.
we're not talking like huge distances here, like from New York to California. Like
Right.
we're just talking like just another neighborhood, basically.
So are you near Hull? Never mind. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Exactly. Never mind.
Sorry.
I can't. Like, I can't pull it up on. Okay. I can't pull it up on maps. Like, it won't let me, but it.
Mi'kmaq.
Yeah, that's Micmac. That's not. No, it's Mi'kmaq. Mi'kmaq.
Mhm.
Let me try it on maps real quick while we look at that. Okay. Here, I'll go ahead and play this while I try to pull that up real quick. Oh, hold on. I'm sure y'all can't see that. Let me see what y'all got up. Okay, hold on.
Hold
Hazel.
on. Just
Hold
a
on.
minute.
Just a minute.
I had a
There-
colleague who used to take a ferry to come to work, so
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay. No. What are you doing? Okay. So I'm going to play this. Give me just a second.
For your awareness, their media release has been put out, and a non-intrusive alert has been sent out to Pictou County.
Perfect, thank you. Back to the car there. No service. Go again. Just speaking of risk matcher, just confirming if you need the drone that was just freed up here in Colchester. We can send it to your way if you wish. It's thermal. Yeah, that'd be great. A lot of area to cover. We're out in the sticks here. You're very familiar. Copy. Constable Tenapple. I'll tell him to report to you. Thanks.
Member is here under Left Row. We just got an.
Okay, I think I've got it. I wish I could have been listening to both at the same time. But it says to the reserve mines, which I'm going to assume is I'm assuming that the reserve mines would be on the reservation anyway. It's about 22 minutes, which isn't that far.
Right.
The thing is, the
No.
reserve, like the reserve is a huge area, huge.
Yeah.
Like the portions where people live, okay, they're more civilized because like they have homes on them and stuff. But like when you look at the surface area of a reserve, it's huge,
Right.
because it includes like, there's like the entrance of the reserve, and that's usually where people live. But then you have like, as you go further and further deep into the reserve, it's like wooded territory. So
Right.
like a reserve can be huge, but that doesn't mean that like people live that far up. Like in
Right.
Canada, like all of Canada is humongous, but most of the population lives within like, what is it, like 100 kilometers of the border or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember y'all saying that last time. And
Yeah.
this is to the reserve mine, so that would be probably into the reservation. So it could be as close as, I would say, like maybe 15 minutes from the house. I would say within 15 to 22 minutes from the house would be how far she is away. That's not
Yeah.
real far.
No, and Nova Scotia is one of the smallest provinces in Canada, so
Yeah.
that doesn't mean anything about this reservation being far or close. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I was looking at it and it's not that big. I agree. Okay. Let's pull back up the dispatch audio. I saw that Mike came in and Chow 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 Young Cat came in. Good to see you.
911 call. Can I go ahead with the details?
Okay. So I wanted to point out basically in this dispatch audio that they had a helicopter over the lake, they had drones in, they had dogs in, they were making sure that they had a way to communicate because reception is bad down there so that they could get out pictures of the kids and the details of what they were last seen wearing and all the information within, like, I think I listened to 2 hours of the dispatch audio. So all of these things had been done within 2 hours of them getting there, which was also within 2 hours of them going missing. And so they were on top of it, I think, from the beginning. Hey, Cream Puff and Dennis, everybody coming in, thank you for being here.
Miss
Okay.
Sarah?
Yes, Miss Sarah, I hope that your appointment went good, love. And then they talk about this man that was in the area driving around. I think that I've heard they did check it since then, but we do have several people that they brought in that we're going to talk about. I don't know anything. We're going to talk about people they're interviewing. So I'll play this last part, and then we'll look at the timeline video.
Yeah, go ahead. So you're going to call via 911 from a Karen Palm. I kindly about 5 minutes. She was reporting just driving past a black Honda CRV, Nova Scotia Marker Golf Mike Fox Zero, that left the outdoor recreational park close to the residence. It is permanently closed. Complaint is unsure if related, but it felt a bit strange to her. Driver was a white male around 50 years old, bald with a mustache. I can send that around to your MWS if it's easier.
Got a copy of Bravo 3, deactivate and reactivate me to this one.
10-4, just came as an update there. Do you want me to send it to your MWS?
So they're trying to get information out about this man that was in the area at a closed down park, evidently. Chow Young Cat just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much for that. That was so very sweet and supportive of you, and I really appreciate that. Those went to Keebler Woman, SMK Splashes Lady, Spooky Girl, Tony L, and Sabrina Feebler. If you were gifted from Chow, please tell Chow thank you, and I'll grab the crazy train and pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you, Chow. That was so sweet. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Denise said, I really wonder who all the 35 people interviewed are. Maybe just family and school acquaintances. Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering that myself. Hey, Sophie and Lovely Bones. Good to see y'all.
Neighbors too, I imagine.
Yeah, probably. I've got some screenshots of that and some stuff that you sent me. It talks about them interviewing certain people. I would think the bus drivers, schoolmates, neighbors, possibly the people at this supposed party, things like that would be my thought.
Yeah.
10-4, I think you probably sent it to all of us there.
What was that address?
Looks like the address is 0 Gerlock Road.
Negative at the moment here. We're just over at the park and just still on the search pattern here. But we were just curious to know if you wanted us to kind of get eyes on that vehicle right away.
Nice, Mike.
I'll quickly there just give her a call, see if I can get a direction of travel from her, and that way, if we do need to, we'll know which way they went.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Looks like it's gated from our vantage point. Stand by one.
So they get somebody to come in and unlock the gate or meet them at the gate. Mike, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. That was so sweet of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Y'all are being so sweet and supportive of today. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Hey, Genevieve and Kathleen. Good to see you. Is that the case of Dylan Ellers? We did a live on that way back. Hey, Katie.
Didn't they find the Dylan's abductor?
Did they?
Or is that someone else? Or
I'm
someone
not.
else? Yeah.
I'm not sure. I
Like,
know. Like, I know as of the time of our live on that, Lord, it probably won't even load that far back. But when we did the live on that, his dad was still looking for him.
oh yeah. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
No, you're good. He disappeared from Nova Scotia as well.
Yes.
And it wasn't far from from what I've heard, it wasn't far from where these children went missing. I know that Duchess for the Missing has it. She interviewed the
Mhm.
dad. Lord, I
We have
probably passed it, but
we have a missing little boy here in Victoria since 1990. Michael
yeah,
Donaghy.
yep. We put him in one of
Yes.
the videos that we put out.
Yeah.
Such a
Thank you.
cute little boy.
He was.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to probably locate it in this moment, but there was one done on it. Duchess, let me pull her up. She has she interviewed his dad. She's so sweet. She let us use some of her stuff. Let me get a lives. I'll show you a picture of him because I just saw it the other day. Right there. The disappearance of Dylan Eller. Jason Eller speaks. Jason, it was 4 months ago, so that would have been, I covered that live that she did. Um, his dad is still searching for him and searches for him to this day. Like,
Yes.
it's really sad. Hey, Carolina. Spare time. Good to see you. Okay, so I have this. This is a timeline of events. No, this is a timeline of events, and this is what. So the Canadian police, from what I understand,
noticed in that
is that they don't like to put a lot of information out. They're already talking about all of the speculation and wild rumors that are coming from it. Actually, we might just go ahead and read that real quick before we do that so that we can kind of understand why we might not get a lot of information about this case. I saw some disgusting things and like reading things like what I read. I think the boot print was Jack's, but I'm not sure. I think they definitively said that there was a boot print and it
Yes,
was the child's.
it was. It was.
Okay. Hey,
It
Ryan.
was. Yeah.
We do. We miss Dylan. Um, Archer and Empress Tarot. Thank you for being here. So yeah, we're going to talk. I'm going to read this real quick. I found some things that are just disgusting, and it kind of explains why we might not get a whole lot of information out of Canada about this case. I know that we have some people from Canada here with us that send me information and we talk about things, but I don't know. I just found this really disgusting. So this is from the Chronicle Herald. It reads, the business model of lies, gossip, and misinformation about Jack and Lily Sullivan on social media. And it says, TikTokers are declaring that Jack and Lily Sullivan have been found. True crime YouTubers harvesting local news footage, overdubbing it with commentary, and declaring their discovery of huge and disturbing clues. An AI-generated account of the children's murder told in story from being shared or told in story form, being shared on Facebook as the quote most plausible scenario, unquote. Our shared horror at the disappearance of 2 children from Lansdowne Station, Pictou County, is being turned into something ugly on social media for profit and obsession. And it reads, the way monetization works is it doesn't matter if the content is accurate, it just matters that it's popular, said Susie Dunn, Director of Law and Technology Institute at Dalhousie University's School of Law. I can't read that. So every time somebody views that content, if it's attached to a monetized account, it increases the ability of the user or company to bring monetization dollars through advertising. So that was the main part of this I wanted to read to you. I don't like, people are saying that the children have been murdered. People are saying that they've been found. And I just want y'all to be very careful. I think that's absolutely disgusting. I can understand why they wouldn't want to share a lot of information considering that all of that is going on. Everything that we talk about here is presented as speculation, my opinions or my thoughts. But if I put something on a thumbnail, I have, or in the title for the video, I have what I feel is proof of that. So I just want y'all to be careful. They have not been found. They more than likely, I would hope that they haven't been murdered. And just be careful and try to make sure you're using verified sources.
Yeah,
That's what I was trying to highlight to you when I had sent you the information about Facebook. Is that like a lot of people outside of Canada don't know this, but in Canada on Facebook, we are not allowed to post news links. There was some government argument with Facebook, so we are not allowed to post any news links. So we can't post CTV, Global, CBS, CNN, Al Jazeera. No legitimate news sources can be posted on Facebook. They're all censored. So what does that leave you with? It leaves you with shit like TikTok and idiots, making what's the other one? There's another one. So like it doesn't help. Like, it doesn't help in situations like this, because in situations like this, you need legitimate information to be able to spread it. But because, and it wasn't a Facebook decision, it was actually our government. They couldn't come to an agreement. So Facebook made the decision that, okay, well, we're going to have to just not allow any news media links on Facebook. So that's what I had sent you when I was showing you, like, look, this is what I get when I try to post a CBC article. And it says, like, it had shown you, like, that it's censored. And then I sent you the explanation, and then that was like, I didn't even know that part, that it was censored on your end. So you as an American can't even read the explanation of why it's censored. So then I sent you the screen caps. But this is like, this doesn't help. It doesn't help at all.
No.
And this started during the peak of the pandemic. So you would think, like, this is the most critical, like, these are situations that you need information to flow as fast as possible, because you need this information out there. But for some reason, the news outlets not getting their cut of a dollar is more important than the lives and the safety of missing children. So
Yeah.
it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so like then they bring, Zuckerberg to the Senate and ask him to explain about selling information. But I mean, come on, like your hands are not clean. So what the hell is that? We don't have the First Amendment. We have another constitution, but like I don't think one is better than the other. So
I mean, it's similar, but it's but
exactly
not
like
with
Yeah.
differences.
but that's what I was like, what I wanted to, like, what I was trying to explain to you allegedly, that was that is that like, how friggin' infuriating is that? And
Yeah.
then on
No.
top of that, like our Amber Alerts are a complete disaster because we get alerts for areas that are completely impossible for children to be there because it's impossible. So it's like, God, get your
Yeah.
act together.
Yeah.
Like,
When I clicked on it, it wouldn't give me information. And going further into that, like the last time we were live on this case, somebody in chat had heard that the kids had been found, and we were looking
right.
into that, and it's just it's bad. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to tell you guys to be careful because there's not a lot coming out of Canada. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the timeline, and we talk about. I did get some screenshots about the party and about the brother and what we. I mean, this is about all I've been able to find on it, and then we'll talk about some of the other things we've noticed with the pictures. Hi everyone. I wanted to bring you a timeline of events on the Jack and Lilly Sullivan case. Here is a picture of Lilly and Jack Sullivan. Lilly has shoulder-length light brown hair and bangs and may be wearing a pink sweater, pink pants, and pink boots. Jack has short blondish hair and blue dinosaur boots. This article is from the Globe and Mail, and it gives us a detailed timeline of events as well as dispatch audio. It reads, 2 Nova Scotia children are missing. Here's a timeline of key events since the siblings vanished.
Yes,
6-year-old Lily
sorry to
Sullivan and her
interrupt.
4-year-old No, you're brother. Fine.
Can you
Go ahead.
turn the sound up just a little bit? Is it possible?
Yeah, I'll
Please,
try to.
if you can.
Mm, it's
Maybe
not
it's just me, but it sounds low.
okay. Let me
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. If it sounds low to you, it probably sounds low to others. I'm gonna try to turn this off. I know that it gets lower when you get in StreamYard, but yeah, I noticed that mine got low too for some reason, but I don't know that I can turn it up. Um, Let me reload this because it wasn't. I noticed, and maybe it'll be louder now. Yeah, it's up as far as it'll let me. Okay, so we'll try again. This article is from the Globe and Mail, and it gives us a detailed timeline of events as well as dispatch audio. It reads, 2 Nova Scotia children are missing. Here's a timeline of key events since the siblings vanished. 6-year-old Lily Sullivan and her 4-year-old brother Jack were reported missing on May 2nd. This is the house where they were reported missing from. Lilly and Jack Sullivan, along with their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, and baby sister, Meadow, moved to the community 2 years ago into the childhood home of Daniel Martell, which is pictured. The mysterious disappearance of 2 young children from their mobile home in the rural Nova Scotia hamlet of Lansdowne has captured headlines around the world. It's been more than a week since police and search and rescue teams began scouring the thickly wooded land and waterways, searching for any trace of 6-year-old Lily Sullivan and her 4-year-old brother, Jack. The community is in a far-flung corner of Pictou County, with the closest town a 15-minute drive away. A few local cars, logging trucks, and the big yellow school bus are usually the only traffic to be seen. A network of backcountry roads that only the locals know crisscross rivers and dense forest that's swarming with black flies. There is no cellular service. Many of the roughly 100 people who live in Lansdowne are related and have been there for generations. Lily and Jack, along with their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, and baby sister Meadow, moved into the community 2 years ago into the childhood home of Daniel Martell, who describes himself as the missing children's stepfather. The children's biological father has had no contact with them, according to their family. Mr. Martell's mother also lives on the property in a dilapidated camper with multiple cats and a dog. It overlooks the fenced in backyard where Miss Brooks Murray and Mr. Martell reported they must have escaped from and wandered off. Let me pull you up a better detailed picture of that area, and I want to discuss something with you real quick. So, I have several pictures of the property. I want to show you a couple of things. First, we're going to go back to this picture and we're going to zoom in. This is the glass door that the parents report they think that the children opened and came out into the backyard and disappeared from somewhere back here. Now, there appears to be some kind of fence right here. We discussed this in a live stream that we had with the Sullivan's pictures on the front if you want to check that out. This appears to be some type of fence, and there is a fence here and here. If we zoom in, we can see the way this picture was taken. The sun is giving the fence shadow line here, and so we can see the shadow of the fence, okay? So you can see all the planks in the fence right here. If we zoom in and move up right here by this back glass door, down the steps, right here, this fence, there's no slats in it. So the fence appears to be an actual fence right here, but here it's just open and you have basically the bare bones of the structure of the fence. Now, we're going to stop right there for a second and I want to show you something that Abellis sent me. Hey, Genevieve, good to see you.
Hey, Jen.
Hang on. There it goes.
I hope you're good. Okay.
Yeah, easy, but good.
Let me see.
You
Okay, hold
sound
on.
muffled there, Jen.
You do.
I'm wearing my earbud. It's probably what it is.
Let me see if I can pull it up. There we go. Okay, so we're going to talk about the fence. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I can zoom in.
Oh, I
Whoa.
misspelt pick.
Oh, that's okay. So, Abellis, we were talking about the fence, right? And even looking at that picture that we have, there's wood here, okay? And that's the gate where it's open. But she saw this garden pick right here. There's a pick right here and a possible hammer right here. There's another picture I'll show you. So it appears to me that they were building. Not that far. Goodness gracious. I'm going to make y'all seasick in a minute. Okay, well, there we go. So it appears that they're building this fence. And I was wondering, like, okay, are we building the fence because we want to make it look better? Because when we look at pictures of the property, I mean, even just the house right there, I mean, it doesn't look like we're necessarily building it to try to make the property look better. I'm wondering if the kids had gotten out before, so we're trying to make a better fence to keep the kids kind of in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
They're building raised flower beds. Look how that's played out. Can you zoom in a little more?
Yeah, I'll try to.
They're just putting in raised flower beds. See how the okay, see where your blue arrow is and it circles?
Yes.
Okay, that's a timber for the bed liner for a raised flower bed. So it looks like they were putting in a garden.
Okay, there's another one. Okay, so here's this one, which shows. Oh lordy, I don't know why I keep doing it that
One
way.
one seems to be a sledgehammer and the other one a pick to me, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, it looks like they were putting in their forms for their base, so their flower beds or their raised garden.
Yeah, it could be.
So I can see that because that's what I used to do in my landscaping, and that's exact the materials that you would
Ah,
use to put in raised flower beds and gardens.
so you think it would be raised flower beds as a because there's a hammer here, a sledgehammer, and then a
Yeah,
pick,
you got to put the
and then
pins.
the new boards, and then the fence is not done right here, and then it's open right here. So you think that this was for the flower beds, not for the fence?
Well, it could be for both. They could
Mm-hmm.
be putting in the raised gardens or the raised flower beds, garden beds for
Yeah.
that purpose, but the fence to enclose the backyard so that they wouldn't have to worry about the kids maybe getting out later. It looks like something was just a situational circumstance of what's happened. But they're repairing a fence and they're putting in raised flower beds. That's what those materials
Okay. I could definitely see that.
So
Um,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're okay. Nath, thank you so much for gifting 5 speculation station memberships. That was so sweet of you. Y'all are being so sweet today. Thank you. Um, those went to April, Brooke, Nancy Hampton, Dorothy Cooper, and Surrey P. If you were gifted from Nath and you are aware you were gifted, please tell Nath thank you, and I will grab the crazy train and pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you, Nath.
I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry if y'all see my mouse moving around. The way I have to share this, it'll show you where my mouse is all the time. What were you going to say, Abellis? I'm sorry to cut you
Oh,
off.
I was going to say when I look at pictures or listen to something, um, what I try and do and is say, what do I see, but also what don't I see?
Mm-hmm.
So on this property, it's messy, but I don't see really. It's not. There's no garbage. It's messy for sure, but
Right.
like it, and the
It's
green grass in the backyard seems to me like uh, it would be fresh grass that they may have seeded because it's so green compared to the front yard and there is no grass elsewhere. So anyway, just
are.
thoughts.
yeah. I
Can
was
I
going to
ask you a
try
couple of
to.
questions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Well, how far is this house away from the main road?
Um. Okay, so I'm working on pulling up other pictures. So let's pull up pictures of the property. Hold on, because for some reason it wouldn't let me share my pictures. So let's go to. That's the backyard where she was talking about she didn't see a lot of garbage. This is the front. There's one. Okay, right here. I
I
think
mean,
this picture is taken standing basically by the road. So I think it's about that far from the road. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, it looks like two small children at those age can move pretty quick. If
Mhm.
somebody had been waiting at the main road and they didn't see it because they're so tuned in to outside noises at this point. Um, Maybe they're used to local vehicles going up and down the road that they've just absolutely grown accustomed to their surroundings that they just didn't take any heed to somebody being parked down at the road at some point, hidden in the wood line.
Right. I'm wondering if the bus if they went out. Okay, so I'm wondering if they came out into the backyard, walked this well worn path right around here, walked the gate, and then walked up the driveway and were kind of at the front of the driveway by the road, possibly waiting for the bus, thinking that they were supposed to go to school that day. And they got up and got themselves ready, not realizing that it was too late. The bus had already ran or something like that, and somebody picked them up. Considering that we haven't found the pamper, the dogs haven't smelled that yet. I really think that's I honestly that's my theory that somebody picked them up. They were standing at the end of the driveway, possibly waiting for the school bus or something. They talk about the book bag not being there and things like that. So that's what I think happened. Um, real quick, Chow Young. Sorry, I know that's loud. Chow Young Cat just became a member. Thank you so much for that. I will pick you up on the way to Speculation Station with the Crazy Train. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that.
I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
Thank you. So that's my theory. You think that somebody picked them up too, kind of at the end of the driveway?
I do, and I think that family had been watched just like the other family was watched in the other cases that are going on up there.
Yeah.
Because they both have similarities in lifestyles, they have similarities in living conditions, they have similarities in how they acquired their properties. There's so many circumstances of similarities here that I think they were just targeted. They were a targeted family.
Yeah.
I don't. I try to be careful with speculation, but I've heard that, like, rumor has it that, and again, this is a rumor. I don't know. I have not verified this. It's just something I heard, complete speculation. But I've heard that traffickers will traffic families like what you're saying, or not traffic, target families like that, where they feel like because it would be an easier target. Like if you've got a house that where there's supposed parties going on and things, and the kids are outside, you've seen them a couple of times outside by themselves, as opposed to in like a like for instance, the neighborhood where Sebastian Rogers went missing. Like that's a complete conundrum. This house is way out in the sticks, not that many people around, and if you're driving around and you've seen these kids outside by themselves, sometimes it's going to be a lot easier target as opposed to a subdivision where somebody's always outside that would see you. There's lots of cameras, maybe there's always somebody around. But then, I mean, I guess you take into consideration people going missing from the city all the time too. So maybe not. I don't know. Hey, Angry Rabbit. I like your
Yeah, but
name.
when you start profiling, when you start the actual victimology and the actual profile here and trying to build the profile of the case, and you start crisscrossing and matching up similarities and circumstances like I'm talking about,
Hmm.
people go missing. You're right. They go missing in some of the best looking communities that you could possibly think of. But when you start actually breaking it down, look how many children are missing in the United States alone with wide open cases still going for years. And then
Yeah.
you start profiling the lifestyles and you start profiling the Department of Children's Services reports and you profile the child custody case matters and you start factoring in all of that. It starts creating patterns.
Right.
It,
I
and it
agree.
makes me actually think on a lot of cases, it has actually put those light bulbs up. Okay, do we have an insider with an agency that may be facilitating some of these missing kids cases?
Oh, I've wondered that too. I can't say for sure, but
I'm not making an allegation. I'm making an observatory comment.
right, right. Angry Rabbit, I never knew that before. Like I never noticed that the camper is buried into the hill, but yeah, it absolutely is. Like, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. The tires where it would be, like it's yeah, that's dirt. It's like dirt all the way up to this little porch area, and that's where you go in and out the door. You're absolutely right. Like even there you can see it's buried into the hill.
Mm.
Well, when I
That's
seen this
interesting.
picture, when I seen this picture of the camper on the property, again, I'm speculating and making a you know
Right.
a theory here or a hypothesis. Do you remember? I can't remember the name of the child that went missing and was found in the camper. Where you remember that? I know you've heard about this case where the kid they went missing for a long time, and come to find out that the stepmom had actually disposed of the child in the camper, and the father's the one that discovered it. Whenever he went backtracking and he
Oh
found
no.
his own child.
Oh,
Oh man.
Now that's been several years ago, and there is YouTube content for news crews and everything. But the father is from my understanding and from my memory, it was the father that found the child in the compartment of the camper that was parked on the property after
hmm,
they had searched the property multiple times.
sad.
Yeah, I can verify that they searched the house several times. I would think they've searched the camper and all these outbuildings, but I could be wrong.
Well, just most recently, the case here in Tennessee where we just had the trial and the conviction. I'm trying to be careful about mentioning names on your show.
You can
Just trying to
talk.
give you lines.
You can mention names. I don't mind that. You're good.
Megan Boswell case.
Yeah. Mhm.
They had went out there and searched that property, and then got
Several.
a call, got a tip, and went back and found that baby in a trash can in the playhouse where she had been possibly moved to.
Yeah, you're right.
Hmm.
So this could actually be a case of foul play, but then there's too many circumstances and similarities in other cases that are matching up with the hypothesis profile in here.
Yeah.
Okay, but going down that same train of thought,
Mhm.
in Canada, the government pays you a lot to have a child. So, especially like people that are living in these conditions, they're receiving a lot of benefits, like a lot. Um, to get rid of two children.
Okay, yeah, I know where you're going, and so what? But what if it was an accident? Like, what if they're
Yeah,
in there?
yes,
You know,
yes. That I mean, I could totally, absolutely see that happening. Yeah,
and I think, I've told you guys my speculation is that they walked down to the end of this driveway right here, possibly waiting for the bus and somebody picked them up. But if we want to go down the possibility of an accident, that would make sense as to why the mother left, because I honestly think, again, even going with my speculation, I think that she's angry because I personally think that she was laying down with the baby. She said, okay, you're going to watch the kids and keep an eye on them while I lay down with the baby. And then, I'll get up and take care of them. And then you can lay down, like kind of working in shifts. And then maybe he was in there or asleep, completely speculating. This is a speculation, but she
yeah,
realized he's in the room with her. And she's like, yo, what the fuck? Like you're supposed to be watching the kids and I don't even hear them. Where are the kids? And he's like, oh shit. And then they go look and they're gone. So, I
yeah,
think she's upset with him about that. And if we're going to say an accident happened, the same thing. Maybe he wasn't watching them, an accident happened, and she's really mad and wants to distance herself from the situation because she knows what happened. If we're going to go with that, again, big red flashing letters, speculation. That could be why she left, because she's angry. Either way, she's angry.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
on board with that. Yeah.
But to me,
I also want to, I just wanted to clarify because people have brought up this party, the party that they had. Um,
Yeah, we'll
the
go.
party, the party
yeah,
was, so Wednesday was actually the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation in Nova Scotia. That's why the children had a day off. So if you go into the history of that, it has to do with like all the Native kids that were taken from their parents, put in schools, and then a few years ago we started finding their dead bodies in the ground. Um, so it wasn't to say that what they had was a party would be like saying that the reception after a funeral is a party.
right.
So that's the mood. Like that's what I wouldn't call it a party. I mean I wasn't there, but I would call it more of like
Like a gathering.
a memorial or gathering
Yeah.
because they are on Native territory. So obviously this is not a day that's going to go ignored. And a lot of those people on that territory have been were affected definitely by the events of like decades ago. So that's like when they say a party, it's kind of like, yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
sure, if that's what you want to
But
call
this
it, but
property is off. But this
Right.
property is off reservation.
it's off
It,
reservation, but it's all native territory. So it's not on the
So it falls
reservation.
under a cultural preservation more of what they were celebrating than anything. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, they weren't celebrating. They were, it's a commemoration day for all the children that they started finding, the bodies of the children that they started finding a few years ago in unmarked graves that were taken by the government and sent to residential schools.
More
So
like a Memorial Day or
it was a day,
November 11th.
it's basically a day of mourning.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
I can see
so
that.
Yeah, it says so. This is the only thing that I've found about the quote unquote party. But yeah, as you're saying, the day of mourning, and it's it's a post on Facebook, and I talk about it in the video. I'll go ahead and talk about it real quick, and we can continue because the bus driver talks and things. But anyway, this is a post that somebody made on Facebook. We don't know who made this post. Like it could be somebody that lives up the street from me here in North Carolina for all we know. We don't know who made the post, but they said they live 500 feet from me, and I didn't even know kids lived there at all. I thought it was a drug house. There's always cars there, and it's so odd to me, but I can't remember clearly if it was Wednesday or Thursday, but there were so many cars on that particular day that the driveway was full, and a car was even parked on the side of the main road. It was like 2 p.m. at the latest. I remember driving past, judging them, thinking how they were probably in there sharing a pipe or whatever, and then boom,
Oh
Friday,
my
this all
God, that
comes
is
out.
so racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Honestly, that's beyond racist because like when you say sharing a pipe,
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
it's,
get crack pipe. I
Yeah.
get like the native pipe. So
oh,
absolutely that would be completely appropriate for that day. Absolutely.
yeah,
So like even the fact that they're starting this comment with a, like to me
and,
this is a bullshit comment because we don't actually talk like that. Canadians
right.
don't go around saying every second word a. So to me like that comment is like it, the undertones are completely racist. Oh yeah, they were sharing a pipe. Well, yes, idiot, that's what the elders do. They share the
Well,
pipe.
yeah, but
Tobacco.
they said crack pipe, but I don't know. Yeah, it threw me off because number one, it said 500 feet, and then I asked Abella, she said they do use feet, but yeah, they live 500 feet from me. It's like you're throwing a in there to try to seem like you're from the area. I don't believe that this comment is
Oh,
accurate,
We
but
can see the photos of 500 feet. We can
yeah.
see that perimeter. There's nothing there. And if they actually lived 500 feet, then to me, these people are suspicious.
yeah,
Absolutely. They're mimicking. If they're not a part of an extremist group, they're damn sure well trying to mimic one.
yeah.
That's
I don't.
exactly what they do.
Oh, and you see
I
a bunch of cars at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What is so bizarre about that? Two
I don't
o'clock in the
know.
afternoon. That's not 2 o'clock in the morning. To me, that's
Right.
completely appropriate for the day that it fell on.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
Christy.
I
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Thanks.
yeah. I don't. I this.
Did I not get
This
the room?
somebody's got feedback. Oh, okay. So yeah, this comment, that's where everybody gets the party thing from, and I don't I it just it's always felt off to me because of that first sentence. They say 500 feet, they live 500 feet from me, eh? Like that's not I don't know, that's weird to me. This comment was weird to me too. Again, it's from anonymous participant. Again, literally somebody on Facebook that could be my neighbor up the street here in North Carolina. But they said the mother has already been drug tested and removed from the home. RCMP and Department of Community Services and Child Protective Services strongly recommend that she leave the dwelling. Drug paraphernalia was located inside the home along with one of the vehicles. I cannot speak on who owned the vehicle or what exactly was found, but I can confirm that drug paraphernalia was located at the residence. The mother and the baby were removed to a secure location away from this property. Now, my first concern is how do you like who are you to this situation to know information like that? Like, that's not information that I think either one of the parents of the children would have shared. Number two, if they're going to remove anybody from anybody, it's going to be they're going to take the child from the both parents, and then the mother might get upset and leave and go stay with her mother, and then Daniel's still there looking for the kids. That could be a possibility. And in this video, I talk about, or I read a segment where he says that he wasn't able to see the baby. He went to go see the baby and was not allowed to. So I think it could be possible that Child Protective Services has the child, the young one, Meadow, the one that's 1 year old. Um, But those two things,
Well,
they're
I
post.
mean, I have drug paraphernalia in my house too because I have diabetic needles, but I don't use it for drugs. I use
Right.
it for what it's supposed to be used for. And also, cannabis
That
in Canada is legal. We are allowed to smoke weed. It's legalized. So, like, what drug paraphernalia? To me, when you make an anonymous comment like that, it has absolutely no integrity. If you want your comment to have value, you stand behind it and you put your name.
Right.
Because when you're going to make accusations like that are like, I don't know. I don't know if the parents are involved, but even if the parents are involved, I can't believe the entire family is involved. Like these missing children are causing pain to people. They're causing pain and turmoil and hurt to their family. The fact that they're dead. They're dead. It's been 2 weeks. These children are dead.
Well,
So
I mean, you're speculating
I mean,
that they're dead. I hope
absolutely.
not.
I'm only going based on logic and my speculation. However, when you make comments like this isn't even speculation. This is
Right.
just like, you're just like, what is the purpose? To try to make them look bad.
Right.
This is
For
Yeah.
what?
You're
absolute
saying
hindering and obstruction. Is what this is. That's exactly what those comments are based on. Absolute, intentional, malicious hindrance, and I hope that with technology the way that it is, and with ICUC the way that it is, and the way the international channels with this internet crimes against children, I hope they start busting idiots that make these kind of comments left and right, and they look at people like that even harder, because whether you got a screen up or not, or a firewall, or whatever you want to VIN, they're going to find you. And people like that
This is
makes those comments need to be questioned and held accountable for their comments and actions.
this is the type of
But
community
Quit.
that, like a lot of our communities in Canada, we're sort of like stuck in the past. So like when we were talking before about how we were the street lamp kids, like we had to come in when the street lamp light came on, that's how safe these communities still are. So these children are still living like under under that safety because not much has changed in these communities. So yeah, the children went out to the backyard. They've probably done that 1,000 million times, and they've been doing it since they were like 6 months old. But like, I was on another channel yesterday, and it was honestly like the racist comments that were being made because of the look of the parents.
Oh
To me, it
yeah.
was like, what the hell does that have to do? Like, you don't understand the financial difficulties of these provinces, the cutbacks. Because their teeth look like they have meth teeth. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, our socialized healthcare doesn't cover dental for adults. It covers it for children. So yeah, if you got to get your teeth fixed, it's going to cost you money. But how are you
Oh,
supposed to do that
well,
when you're only working for half the year? So
and
right.
not
it's
only
just
that,
like,
it's not just in Canada. It's all over every rural part of the U.S. and Canada. It's every rural area that's affected in this capacity. And
yeah.
it's like these outsiders intentionally target these families. And then when these child abduction cases or these missing children or these murdered children cases pop up to the surface for people to try and help find a solution to a problem, they just create mass hysteria even more just by making stupid comments like that, making making overly judgmental, discriminative, and racial comments. It's just crap. It's just absolute crap the way that they've done people and targeted families and
it's
harassed families
ignorance.
and
It's
obstructed
absolute
investigations.
ignorance because you have never been outside of your own country. You know nothing about other cultures or ethnicities or other ways of life. People do not live the same as they do in like between the Trump walls. So there's a lot of different ways of life. And unfortunately in Canada, for the Maritimes, the most neglected provinces in the entire country, this is real life for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So the reason these children, there
Well,
wasn't like child protective services that intervened earlier is because this is an accepted way of life in this part of the country. Like that should tell you something. The standards go down for these provinces. So I don't even know where the other um some like the other information came that Child Protective Services are involved with the infant. Like, I'm not sure where that came from, but like,
Okay, so we'll take it back and we'll go over that. So I'm going to continue playing this video since we did look at photos of the property because it's in this video. So I'm gonna start this article back basically where we left off, and you'll hear it, and then we can talk about that. So let's jump back into the article. The following is a timeline of the search for the two missing children so far. April 29th, 2025, which was a Tuesday, was the last day that Lilly and Jack Sullivan attended Salt Springs Elementary, a small rural school about an 18-kilometer bus ride from their home. So it was about 11 miles from their home. There was no school the next day, which was Wednesday, and the children were kept home May 1st and 2nd owing to illness, according to Mr. Martell. Under the picture, it reads, police believe missing siblings Lily 6 and Jack 4 wandered away from the backyard of their home in Lansdowne Station, Pictou County, Nova Scotia. May 2nd, at approximately 10 a.m., Miss Brooks Murray calls 911 to report Lily and Jack missing. RCMP issue a vulnerable missing persons alert in Pictou County and ask for the public's help in locating the children who they say are believed to have wandered off from the home. Police do not issue an Amber Alert, saying an abduction appears unlikely and the case does not meet the necessary criteria. Before we listen to the dispatch audio, let's see what the necessary criteria is for an Amber Alert in Nova Scotia. It says an Amber Alert will only be activated in Nova Scotia if 1. Police have confirmed that an abduction has taken place. 2. The victim is a child or a person of proven physical or mental disability. 3. There is reason to believe the victim is in danger of serious physical injury. And 4. There is information available that could assist in the safe recovery of the victim. Thankfully, police agencies have never had to issue an Amber Alert in Nova Scotia. The biggest issue I see here is number 1, police have confirmed that an abduction has taken place, and they have not confirmed that in this case. Okay, so yeah, like I said, that's my biggest issue with the Amber Alert thing is that they confirmed that the children have been abducted, and they haven't been able to confirm that in this case yet. Pretend Judge, good to see you. We're going to talk about that too when we go over the audio from the parents. Let me see. We listened to dispatch audio already. So we're going to jump to
Guys,
May
I'm going to
3rd.
hop down. I'm going
Okay,
to hop
love.
down. Y'all have a good day. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Jen.
Bye, Jen.
Bye.
Thank you for coming up. No, I don't think an Amber Alert has been issued as of this morning, and the victims were children, but because they have to be able to verify that an abduction has occurred, and unfortunately, they can't confirm that yet because to do that, you would have to know like the vehicle, you'd have to know 100% that the children were picked up in a vehicle, and they don't know that yet.
Do we know who said that there was a man, that bald guy with the mustache? Do we know who said that or when that was said?
That was in the dispatch audio right at the end. They talk about a man, the dispatch audio that we just went over. They talk about a man being at an abandoned playground driving a black Honda CRV. And so they chase him down. And I think they located him and spoke to him. But I'm not sure. It is in the dispatch audio. I don't really hear much else about it other than they see, in the dispatch audio, they talk about this man at the abandoned park who's bald-headed with a mustache driving a black Honda CRV. They go after him, and then the helicopter sees somebody in a black truck, but then comes back and says that they were just fishing. They were going towards a pond, and they appeared to be fishing. And they say that they spoke to the person, but I don't know if they're talking about they spoke to the man in the black CRV or the people who were fishing. They talked to somebody and located one of them. I don't know which one it was.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. May 3rd, 2025, RCMP issue a quote, broadcast intrusive alert, unquote, a public cell phone notice that the children are missing to people in Antigonish, Colchester, and Pictou counties. The Mounties Major Crimes Unit becomes involved in the investigation. May 3rd, 2025, Miss Brooks Murray and Mr. Martell attend a briefing at the Search and Rescue headquarters on nearby Lansdowne Station Road. Mr. Martell says Miss Brooks Murray leaves midway through the update to sit in the back of an ambulance. She departs with her mother, and Mr. Martell said he hasn't seen her since. She cuts off contact with him after this. So that's where we get the she was sitting in the back of an ambulance and she moved or she left, excuse me, right after that. And this is from oh, I said it at the beginning. It's a news source out of Canada, so I do trust what they say. There's the headquarters right here. It shows you on the map.
Oh, there's the lake at the top there.
Mhm. And the children's home's right here. So there's actually like 3 it appears.
So the
So
lake
it's
is
showing us their
it's
houses
not that
here.
far.
Sorry, love.
Oh no, I was just saying the lake is not that far. We were looking for it the other day.
Right, yeah, the lake is not that far. Yeah, we were looking for it and I couldn't find it before, but I was glad to have found this article that gives you this map and shows you.
Mm-hmm.
They go to Lansdowne Station, which is over here. And right here is the search and rescue headquarters.
I wonder why they were
And there's the
that
location of
far from the house, the search headquarters.
I
Why
don't
are they on the next road over?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought that was like a ways away. Sorry, it says former search and rescue headquarters, and then this is Lansdowne Station Road. That's Lansdowne Station, and this is Gerlach Road. It does seem kind of far away. Um, and they did, I heard on the dispatch audio that they had divers in the lake pretty much immediately, too. So the lake has been searched with divers. They've had dogs out, but I don't know if it was cadaver dogs. I think it was just tracking dogs. And they've searched everything really good. But yeah, it is weird. It says former search and
Yeah,
rescue headquarters, so it might not be what they were using at the time, but I'm not sure.
it looks like there are 2 other lakes on the other side of the road
Mm-hmm.
across from Lansdowne Lake.
Yeah, and if you think like I'm thinking about my area, there's lots of trails through the woods, and if you go the main road, like I mean, I'll just use this as an example. Like if this was my house and these were lakes around my house, if you go the main road, it would take way longer to get there than it would like there's paths behind the house and I could get to somewhere like right like that lake area in probably a couple of minutes
Yeah.
as opposed to taking the road, which would take maybe 10 minutes. So
Right.
that could be another reason why they're going so far out. Yeah, I heard there was a footprint by the gas pipeline, and they could have followed the line. We couldn't figure out, we'll talk about that in just a minute. I'll try to remember to come back to that because we were talking about that in one of the photos.
Mhm.
Miss
Wow.
Yeah, Miss Scorpio Rising gifted another 5 memberships. Thank you so much for that. Those went to April, Nurse for God, Victoria Brooke, Lisa S., and Tragedy Ann. If you were gifted from Miss Scorpio Rising and you are aware you were gifted, please tell her thank you, and I will grab the crazy train and pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you, Miss Scorpio.
I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
I'm just clicking everything. Thank you, Miss Scorpio. Okay. Rescue headquarters. And there's the location of the lake they've been searching with divers. Rain complicates the search efforts as search and rescue teams work through dense forest and boggy conditions. Drones equipped with infrared technology are used at night to look for any traces of the children. May 4th. Mr. Martell speaks to the Globe and Mail about what happened on the morning the children went missing. Quote, Lily came into the room multiple times. I seen her that morning and Jack was out playing in the kitchen, I'm guessing. And they slid open the back sliding door. It's almost like silent to hear it sliding. So the first thing that he said is Lily came into the room multiple times. They talk about her poking her head in, and I seen her that morning, and Jack was out playing in the kitchen. I'm guessing. That's concerning to me. And he says, and then they slid open the back sliding glass door. It's almost silent to hear it sliding. And then I'll go ahead and pull these up. Other pictures from an article. We're going to pause that right there and we'll pull back up the pictures again. Hold on. Not that one yet. So here this article says he estimates it took up to 20 minutes to notice the children were gone, and it says, quote, she went out of the room. I could hear Jack out in the kitchen. A few minutes went by. I heard nothing. Got up, went out into the kitchen, checked everything. I seen they weren't there. Checked their bedrooms and they weren't there, unquote. He says, quote, so I looked out the backyard. That's the only other place they would go, and their boots were gone. The sliding door was closed. Usually they don't close the door. I usually have to remind them to close the door over and over, unquote. So my issue is, it's crazy to me that the children must have gone out the back door and actually closed the door behind them. Like this one time that they did actually close the door is also the one time that they go missing. I found that a little weird. I got this from Michelle After Dark, by the way. I will post her link. She had it on a video, and I grabbed that screenshot because I didn't know where the article was. So I'll grab her link and post it. She did a good video on it. But I got an issue with that because that tells me that more than likely, I don't think, I mean, if you're having to tell them over and over and over again to shut the door, I would think the door would be open this time just like it was the last time. But then you have to question, well, how else would they got out? I mean, they're using deductive reasoning to say they went out the back sliding glass door because obviously they didn't see them. But if that door was shut, could they have gotten out another way? Maybe they didn't go to the backyard. Maybe they went out the front door. Have they ever gone out the front door? Was the front door locked? These are questions that I have.
Wouldn't they leave that one open too, though?
You would think, right?
You
Like
know.
if you're, yeah. Kraka says, I find it odd that they remembered to close the sliding door unless they were well trained at 4 and 6 years old. Generally, kids are focused on going forward. Yeah, my kid, I have a sliding glass door, and I mean, my youngest one is 9, and I have to tell them every single day, 9 to 14, and I have to still tell them to shut the door. Like, so much that it's insane. So I don't see that. I mean, I have an issue with it personally.
Does Basil close the door?
No, he won't go outside. I try to take him, but he don't like it outside. He's on the bed. I know y'all are asking about him. Let me grab this link and grab it real quick. Okay.
Comic relief.
Do what?
Comic relief.
Yeah. I just dropped the link for Michelle After Dark if you guys want to check her out. Pretend judge said, and no one also saw or heard them go out the back door. Then the back door was also closed. For all they know, someone came in and took them out the sliding door. And I mean, yeah, we don't know, you know. It is odd about the door. We have no idea if they went out the door or were taken out the door, right? He's very bougie. Okay. So we'll go back to the video. Mercedes, I know you've been muted, but I turned your mic down earlier just because you were talking very loud. So I wanted to let you know. I tried to turn it back up, but it because you're muted, it wouldn't let me. I didn't want you to be too low.
Okay.
Okay, I can do it now.
Do we know if they interviewed the people that lived in the backyard?
I think that they said they talked to the step grandma and the brother. That's what I've heard. I can't imagine that they wouldn't have.
To me, those two are more not suspicious, but sort of more suspicious than the parents, because if the kids went out in the backyard, they would hear them, especially with Lily screaming, and if they were
Yeah.
playing in the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. They slid it open. The boots were right beside the door, and they proceeded to, I'm guessing, play outside. They must have gotten through the back fence, and then they were gone. As soon as I seen they were gone, immediately jumped in the car and did all the dirt roads, all the culverts, checked over rivers and streams. As soon as I got home, 10 minutes later, I headed out on foot, unquote. There's Mr. Martell, stepfather to Lily and Jack, and that's him speaking to the Globe and Mail at his home in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia. The RCMP requests the help of the Nova Scotia Guard and provincially organized volunteer group to aid in the search. More than 160 people, assisted by helicopter, drones, and tracking dogs, eventually take part in the effort to find the children in a heavily wooded area around the family's home. May 5th, searchers find no sign of the children despite heavily scanning a 4 square kilometer area around the mobile home. A report that a child's boot print is found nearby sparks some focused searching in that area. May 6th, police take Mr. Martell to the Pictou County District RCMP detachment in the town of Stellarton, where he is questioned for 4 hours. He said he was asked to go over details and timelines to the minute and draw on maps where he thinks the children could be. Quote, they're easy on me because they know I'm telling the truth about everything, unquote, is what he said. And that's the station where he would have been questioned at. The chief of the Spika Nakate First Nation, Michelle Glasgow, addresses speculation around the case and asks people to, quote, refrain from jumping to conclusions or sharing unverified information, as this can complicate the efforts of the multiple agencies involved in the ongoing investigation. Okay, so there are multiple agencies involved. I saw that someone had just asked me about the real father of the children. All I know about that, somebody sent me a screenshot. Again, it's just a post on Facebook. I have no way to verify it, but it said that he had just gotten out of jail or prison. Again, I don't know. That's what somebody said. I can't verify it. I'm not going to go with it because I don't know. I would have to be able to verify it for me to say it's true. But that's what somebody said on Facebook. What the news has said, or rumors that I've heard from news sources, is that the real father said that they were, or not real father, the biological father said that they were nonverbal, and the biological paternal grandmother said that they were nonverbal. Mom says that they are verbal. School teachers say that they speak, but you can't understand what they're saying. We're going to look at a video from a birthday party in a minute that's going to be up on this video, and you'll kind of get to hear. I can understand Lily saying birthday, but I guess that's because I'm a mom. Some people might not understand it. That's all I know about the dad. Unquote. She says the children's maternal grandfather is a member of the Mi'kmaq community. Amy Hansen of Colchester County Ground Search and Rescue says the search has been, quote, exhausting, unquote, and thorough despite the difficult terrain, and that volunteers are not giving up hope of finding the children. May 7th, 2025. In the morning, RCMP arrived at the home and asked Mr. Martell to hand over his phone, which he said he did. When asked about how police are investigating the children's disappearance, maternal grandmother Cindy Murray tells the Globe, quote, we're not discussing anything right now. The police told us not to, unquote. RCMP, I don't know why I read that with like a snark. I didn't mean to read it with a snark. It sounds like I'm being snarky, but that was not my intention. Scale back the search for Lily and Jack, acknowledging it's unlikely the children are still alive. Quote, we're not packing up and we're not giving up, unquote, says Staff Sergeant Curtis McKinnon. District Commander for Pictou County District RCMP, Mr. Martell said he handed over some of the children's stuffed animals to RCMP at the request of Miss Brooks Murray, Lily's white unicorn, and Jack's blue dinosaur. He said he also gave the police the baby's white giraffe and the mom's pink bear. Mr. Martell told the Globe that police advised him they were bringing in cadaver dogs and RCMP divers to search nearby Lansdowne Lake. May 8, 2025. RCMP searched the dense forest behind the home in a helicopter. Plainclothes investigators arrive again to speak with Mr. Martell. Quote, basically at this point, they just want to look at any tech that could help match up any phones that came into the yard, unquote, he said. That afternoon, a friend drives him to the Children's Protective Services office in Stellarton, where he requests to see his 16-month-old daughter but is denied. Quote, as of now, I can't be around Meadow, unquote, he said during an interview the following day. Quote, with the kids going missing, Children's Protective Services wants to keep a tight leash on everything, unquote. Now, that's what we have from the news about the Child Protective Services thing. And reading that, I would believe that Child Protective Services possibly has the baby and the baby is not with the mom, if I had to guess. And they're just trying to wait until the police have ruled out that the parents didn't do anything before they give custody of the baby back to them. That would be my thought on that.
No, that's not like that's not protocol.
Really?
Yeah, no. They don't remove children like that. Like there's no reason, there's no proof. Like there's no evidence to prove that the infant is unsafe around her, and she also
Okay.
has family support. So
Okay.
no, that would be like a complete violation of her rights, to be honest. No, I find it hard to believe that they would do something like that. But again, I don't know the insides of the story. So, but that's usually not how they operate.
Okay, we're going to come right back to that. Pretend Judge, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. I'll grab the crazy train and pick you up on the way to a speculation station. Thank you so much.
I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, so Mercedes, I wanted to talk. So, okay, if they have a concern that the parents could possibly be responsible, like until they rule out all possibility that the parents could have done anything, you don't think that they would take the baby just to because they haven't been
No,
ruled out? No.
no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
If the child is well cared for, like there's no evidence of abuse, what's like you need to have a reason to remove a child. The
Right.
fact that two are missing, I mean, yes, these things happen, but like there has to be a reason to remove the child. Now he says he just went to the children's welfare office. If this was a visitation that had been set up by social workers, the child would be there because then she would be in contempt of a court order or an emergency order stating that, yes, the father has a right to visit the child. So this guy, to me, he seems like he talks a lot. He talks a lot
Right.
and he doesn't know when to shut up. He over volunteers, he overshares. So maybe like what I'm thinking is he just went to the child protective offices and told them like, yeah, I want to see my daughter, but the mother won't let me and this and that. And then they probably told him, okay, well, these are the steps that you need to do. You need to file this, you need to file contact order, blah, blah, blah. And then
Okay.
to him, that translates into, I went to try to go see my daughter, but she wouldn't let me.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Because if
Perfect.
this had been an official visit, the child would be there. Like
Right.
the mother can't go against that. Like a court order is a court order.
Right.
And
Right.
then she would have to give reasons. You know, if she doesn't want to cooperate, then she has to give reasons for why. Like, you know, he did this to the baby, he did that to the baby. Then the investigation takes another turn. But that hasn't happened yet.
Right.
So I
Okay.
think this on his part, I think it's just a case of like ignorance on his part, and that's it.
Okay. I see a lot of people. I see some people agree, some people don't. I respect everybody's thoughts, opinions, and speculation. So I mean, I could see both sides of it, right? Like I could see. I mean, I don't. They again, you would have to legally have a reason. I could see kids going missing being a reason, but I tend to agree with what she's saying more because, yeah, I mean, like, if the visit was set up, then the baby would be there. He wouldn't be told she couldn't see the baby. The mom can't go against the order. So, yeah, I think that maybe he was trying to see the baby that is in the care of the mom and trying to set that up, and it wasn't set up yet. I don't know personally. Nobody knows because we weren't there, but I understand what she's saying, and I tend to lean more that way. Honestly, that's just me though, and I respect everybody's thoughts, opinions, and speculations. Mike, thank you so much for being here and for the $10. He says, "Thanks, panel, mods, and chat. Rain stop. Better get something done." I know that's right. I've been working in my garden for days. So yeah, I don't know. We see the thing is it's hard to get information out. So I'm gonna go with that's up in the air again. I think and I think the only people that would know would be members of the family. So I'll leave that one there. Um, there is a news update. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Ah, not update 4. 1 hour ago is all I'm seeing. But let's see. We got. Good gracious. I hate when all these ads pop up. Oh, y'all can't even see it yet. Goodness gracious. Okay, well. Oh my gosh. Like, I can't stand it. It's crazy. Okay. It says, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police are intensifying efforts to locate missing siblings Jack and Lily more than a week after their disappearance in Nova Scotia. Officers have conducted extensive interviews, analyzed public tips, and countered online misinformation as the investigation continues to grip the country. Um, this was from an hour ago. It tells us about Jack and Lily who went missing from Pictou County. The children were reported missing. The case has resonated wide across Canada. What is the update? Okay, as of May 15th, investigators have identified 35 people from formal interviews focusing on community members and others with direct ties to the siblings, according to the National Post. The RCMP team includes specialized personnel from multiple units, notably major crime and forensic experts, all working to determine what happened to the two children after they were last seen. Officials say that more than 180 tips have been received, though many were determined to be unhelpful. Ground searches in targeted areas continue, with officers analyzing forensic evidence along with information from the community. The search was narrowed on May 7th to targeted areas within about 2 square miles of dense rural forest near Gerlach Road. It has included as many as 160 trained volunteer searchers, along with additional support from others, totaling tens of thousands of search hours. Authorities also issued 2 vulnerable missing persons alert as part of the effort to find Jack and Lily. The case has triggered a national outpouring of concern and spurred intense police activity, underscoring the challenges that arise when social media speculation intersects with criminal investigations. While community tips have the potential to provide crucial leads, misinformation can divert law enforcement resources and disrupt investigative focus. Both children are still missing. RCMP Public Information Officer Corporal Charlie McCannon told Newsweek, "We ask that people spread the word through social media respectfully about this investigation and all ongoing missing person searches." So that's what I see from an hour ago. I'm looking. Yeah, I don't see anything else new. Let me see what y'all are saying now that I'm back here. If I will keep looking and checking. Maybe it hasn't come out yet, but yeah, media, social media speculation station. That's right. Um, I will keep checking, but that's all I see as of right now. Quote. This picture says, toys dot the dense woods just meters from the home of the missing siblings where RCMP search efforts are underway. School board staff say teachers and students at Salt Springs Elementary have been provided with psychologists, counselors, and other resources to help, quote, with questions and providing calm coping strategies during the difficult time, unquote. Let's talk about the school bus driver and what he had to say real quick. So here's what the bus driver said. This is also from the Globe and Mail, and it's titled Disappearance of Two Children Has Rocked Rural Nova Scotia Community. Here's the bus driver. Bus driver Brian Ward shows where missing children Jack 4 and Lily Sullivan 6 sat on his bus on May 8, 2025. Every day this week, the children aboard the big yellow school bus peered out the window as they passed the white trailer on the side of Gerlach Road. Quote, have they found Jack and Lily yet? Unquote. They asked bus driver Brian Ward every afternoon. Quote, not yet, unquote, Mr. Ward says as he told the children. Quote, the police are doing everything they can, unquote. Lily and Jack's seat in the front to the right has sat empty with their names still taped above it since April 29th when Mr. Ward last dropped them off at the end of the dirt driveway after school. The case of the missing siblings 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack, who disappeared from their home without a trace nearly a week ago, has rocked the rural, sparsely populated community of Lansdowne, northeast of Halifax in Pictou County. Quote, I'm devastated. I'm absolutely devastated, unquote, said Mr. Ward, whose children are friends with Lily and Jack and often sat with them on the bus ride home from school. Quote, I can't even sleep at night, unquote. Both kids attend Salt Springs Elementary School, a small rural school about a 20-minute bus ride from their home that serves 86 children from communities across southern Pictou County. The school has been provided with psychologists, counselors, and other school board support staff to help, quote, staff members and students with questions and providing calm coping strategies during this difficult time. I think I said 86 schools. It's supposed to be 86 children. Not 86 schools. I apologize about that. Central Regional Center for Education spokesperson Jennifer Rogers said. Mr. Ward said he headed into the woods on his ATV to look for Lily and Jack as soon as he heard the children had been reported missing on the morning of May 2nd. RCMP have said they believe the children wandered away from the home. He described the kids as full of life, always smiling and laughing. Lily would let out these high-pitched squeals, he said. Quote, I'd get after her all the time. Lily, you can't be doing that, unquote. He also described her as a bit of a drama queen. Quote, if she had a sore foot, she'd say her foot was broken, unquote, he said with a laugh. I apologize for that feedback. It must have been in the video. Jack sometimes fell asleep on the way home from school, but more often than not, he was chatty. Quote, he'd say, bus driver, hey, bus driver, Mr. Ward recalled, unquote. Quote, if he was trying to talk to you and he couldn't get your attention, the little bugger would take his boot off and throw it at you. Jack is famous for throwing his boots at me, unquote. Inside the family's trailer, paintings and awards hang in the small, well-worn kitchen, and one piece of art, Lily says her mom makes cupcakes and plays with toys and watches movies. Quote, I love my mom, unquote, she wrote neatly in pencil. There's also a red painting by Jack of an insect. Family members have said he loves to dig for worms and would turn over pieces of wood to look for bugs. Let's go back and look at the end of the first article we started reading, and then we will talk about rumors and speculation. Hey, Stephanie. May 9th, 2025. Lily and Jack have been missing for more than a week. Mr. Martell says he's been exceedingly cooperative with investigators. Quote, I gave them everything from my phone. I asked for a lie detector test and drug test. I am the only one trying to move this forward and give any information that I have, unquote. He adds that police are looking at the wireless router in the home to see who is connected to the internet and at what times. A large RCMP truck is in the area. Mr. Martell says RCMP scoured Lansdowne Lake from above by helicopter and also went into the lake but found nothing. Okay, I'm going to pause that there. What I just showed you are the only things that I and most people know to be true about this case. And going back to what Mercedes was saying about, him talking a lot, him saying that he's the only one trying to push this forward. I mean, we don't technically know what the mom's doing. Maybe he knows more than we do, but I'm not sure. And I mean, I think that just reiterates he does talk a lot. I know he's probably upset that she left and for whatever reason, but I don't know. See, I have an issue with her leaving too because I would think the main focus would be on finding the kids. But Minion asked, when do kids start school in Canada? Is it the same as here? Like you go through like September to May, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yes.
I think it depends on the province.
Okay.
Yeah. For us in Ontario, it was until the end of June. So September to June. So we had July and
Yeah.
August off.
Yeah. Same.
Okay, so it's pretty much the same. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Pardon me.
All right. So now we're going to get into rumors and speculation. I'm going to skip past these two comments because we've already looked at those and talked about that. Now, okay, I think the next one is a picture. This is the video, the only video that we have of them. Now, he talks about Lily letting out these high pitched squeals. And I'm gonna warn you, I did turn it down in the audio, but she's very loud and she does let out these high pitched squeals and I know that I've told you my speculation is maybe they went to the end of the driveway thinking that it was a school day and didn't realize what time it was and somebody picked them up. There is something that goes against that for my speculation is her doing these high pitched squeals and things. It's hard for me to believe that this is something she does on a regular basis and nobody heard that because she, like Veronica said, she's very loud. So we'll watch this real quick. I'm sure y'all have seen it. A birthday party. I do want to give you a warning. This is going to be loud. This child screams at the top of her lungs. If you have earbuds in, please turn your device down. I'm going to play it now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Lily, stop, honey. Blow it, go. Oh. Yay! Yay! So I understood that she said birthday, but I don't know. I could see how people could have trouble hearing her. I understood clearly that she said yay, yay, and then birthday.
I think I would have dropped her off about 10 feet if I had picked her up.
Right. No doubt with that screaming. Oh my goodness. She's excited. It's cute, but she is
Yeah,
really
she's really
loud.
cute. Really cute.
Yes, but she's very loud. Happy birthday! Say happy birthday. So what I noticed in that clip is that it does appear that there could be some sensory issues going on with Lily screaming at the top of her lungs, and then when Jack gets cake on his fingers, he seems upset about it. I did understand Lily when she said happy birthday though, and some people say that they're verbal, some people say that they're not. The one thing that comes to mind is if there are sensory issues, a wet pamper would probably be very irritating to a child with sensory issues, to a child in general. And
If they wandered off in the woods, I would think that pamper would have been found by now, whether it be in the house or out in the woods somewhere. The dogs would have smelled it and picked it up. I don't see them wandering off and that pamper still being on them.
A lot of people have pointed out this picture of the stepdad with this scratch under his eye. I don't find it suspicious considering that he has been running in the woods and probably getting slapped in the face with tree branches and things like that.
Are you muted?
I am talking away. Amy, thank you so much for the super chat with the heart and the heart and the praying hands, the hearts and praying hands. I really appreciate that. That was so sweet and supportive of you. Thank you so very much. Pretend Judge says the screeching makes me concerned, especially because the parents wanted to sleep more than being parents on the day of the disappearance. Yeah, I understand sometimes laying down, while your children are playing in the house. I don't know. I wouldn't have at that age if they're older, maybe. But I really think that he was supposed to be watching them, and I really think that maybe she trusted him to watch them and then something happened. But, I wasn't there. I didn't see. I don't know. Um, you know, it, it's hard. It is. It's hard because just a slip in judgment
Yeah.
you don't ever think something like that's going to happen, and then the one time, it could have been the one time she ever laid down while they were up playing, and this happened. We don't know. I don't know. It's sad. There are beautiful children. And if we look at this photo of his hand holding the phone, we can see that there are also thorns all in his hands. So I honestly think that that scratch is just from running through the woods. And Abellis pointed that out, that if we looked at, when we did the lab on this case last time, she said that if you find that other picture where he's holding the phone or whatever, you would see all the thorns in his hands, and you definitely can. So thank you for pointing that out, Abellis.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard this undies and socks and a headband found in the woods. I don't know that that's true. I've also heard zip ties to be found and people saying that human trafficking people use zip ties. I mean, I could see it as a possibility, but I've heard that it's been debunked. I don't know. Well, my kids play in the backyard. They're older, and I can see them out the window, but there's freaking cows, dogs, coyotes around.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, I don't let them go outside at night by themselves, but I've never seen a coyote, but I hear them around here all the time, so I don't know. It just depends. Rural areas, there's animals everywhere, so I don't really think much of it.
You
There's
know,
also a bear somewhere.
I live in the city, and a few days ago, somebody heard a cougar in a neighborhood not too far from me. So they come right in the city here.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. Big kitty. What my neighbor actually heard one down the street a few years ago, just like 10 houses away from me.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. One was caught in the Empress Hotel parking under under the hotel. This is one of the biggest, most beautiful hotels in Canada, and there was a mountain lion in the basement.
I live in a city too, but I'm kind of between. I'm like nestled in between like a national park almost, but it's a city. And a few summers ago, I was at a red light, and across the street from behind the gas station, I thought it was a huge dog. It turned out it was a brown bear. Had just come out from behind the fence. The fence was like sort of like knocked over. But then I was thinking, well, yeah, he does belong there because that part is like the park side of it. But it just so happens that we decided to build a city like right in the middle of it. And I've seen so many foxes. And last summer, actually, I saw a lynx. My God, it's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful, gorgeous animals, gorgeous.
They
And it
are.
was just like, it was just like, oh my God, these are the things that you see in textbooks, but here
Yeah.
they are. But that bear, when he stood up, holy cow, there was a lady crossing the street. And when she saw that bear stand up, man, she left her buggy in the middle of the street and started running the other way. Like
Yeah.
I was in a car and I was like, oh my God, like, am I actually seeing this? Wow. Like, it was
Right.
crazy.
Sounds
Yeah.
beautiful, though.
It does. Yeah,
No,
there's
gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful,
Yeah, yeah.
gorgeous, but like crazy, like, wow, I'm actually seeing this. So I don't know what kind of animals they have in Nova Scotia, to be honest.
Probably bears and moose, and
Yeah.
moose are dangerous too. Well, deer are dangerous.
yeah.
One of my neighbors was beaten up by a deer years ago. They have
Yeah.
sharp hooves too, so
I didn't know that.
yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah. You've got to be careful of deer, definitely.
They're all around here too. I see them all the time.
Well, even raccoons can be dangerous. You know,
Mhm.
they attack dogs, and yeah, we have all sorts of critters that come into Victoria.
Yeah. Hey, just me. Just me says Daniel refers to the backpacks using them and their in my opinion implies both had backpacks, no description of Jack's. And that's a good point. Yeah, them and their the way he says them and their when he talks about the backpack, um I think that goes more to like what Kalisa was saying and what I was saying earlier that they could have tried to catch the bus or walk to school or whatever for whatever reason, thinking that they needed to go out there and catch the bus or whatever, um, and and somebody might have picked them up. Unfortunately, that's really what I think, but I could definitely be wrong. Looking for the children.
Kids.
Another
The issue
issue
I have
that
with
some
that
people have
theory,
pointed out is. Uh huh.
sorry,
No, you're good.
it's just that the issue I kind of have with that theory is that in these type of communities, like everybody knows everybody and everybody sees everything. So like a perfect example was that woman calling in the Honda CRV at a permanently closed park. Like people,
Yeah.
they don't like they
Right.
don't know how to mind their own business. So like people, you know, like if there was a car or a vehicle driving up these roads, um there would be no reason for them to be driving unless they're going to a destination, because it's not like there's 7-Eleven along the way, like gas stations, Walmarts, like
Right.
they're going somewhere. So they have to have passed other houses, other properties, other things, and people would have noticed,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what they do in these communities. Like they notice and they're in everybody's business. So that's kind of the problem that I have with that, is that nobody has come forward and said like, oh yeah, like, you know, yeah, we did see this car or whatever. And then the other thing is the cell phone towers. So like the area that they live in is not the most like they still sort of use like a lot of analog cell phone towers. So when your phone switches over, like it sends pings. So like it's sort of like the reverse of looking into a phone. The police wouldn't have to look into the phone. They would just have to look at what what devices connected to what towers during those hours, like during that time. So because it's an isolated area, you're going to have the expected devices, which are the ones that like are normal. So like the houses that live around there. But then if you see a device that is new and is sort of like transient and it just connected for like a few seconds, the police are going to be all over that, because then they're going to be tracking down that device and finding out like, okay, so you were within this distance of the tower. What were you doing? Like, why were you there?
Yeah, and they said at the end of that article that they were checking the router, they were checking the towers and things, so they are looking into that, and that makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
So that's why I don't think that there was like anybody else involved. Like it's like, again, this is just my opinion. I'm like no authority or expert, but I mean, this is just to me common sense. Like
Right.
it doesn't look that way to me.
Right. Yeah, yeah, I get it. I agree. I mean, yeah, I
Yeah,
respect that
makes sense.
100%. Mhm.
And also, like, if you're going to kidnap children, like, why in the world would you kidnap autistic children? Because those are really hard to sell. You know what I mean? Like, like if this is trafficking, like
Yeah.
those are not exactly the most cooperative children. You can't really scare them into submission.
Yeah, and a trigger warning for everybody. I apologize. But I could see that, but the trafficker would like. What if they just saw the kids on the road and like just picked them up, maybe not necessarily knowing? I don't
Knowing them.
know.
Yeah.
They would have dropped them off, like
Yeah.
You would think.
like Abella said, like after 10 minutes, because Lily, it seems that like her expression is loudest when she's excited. So I would imagine it would be that way when she's nervous or scared. So
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah,
Minnie is generous.
That's an issue I have too. I think that Lily would have been screaming, and that would have been hard to keep under
yeah,
wraps.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
this is going to talk about the brother who has some kind of charge, and I'm going to tell you about
Yeah.
that. We're gonna. I don't.
Oh, good.
I don't agree with it, but it's. I brought it up because it's been talked about. The head. I keep seeing y'all talk about the headband, underwear, and socks. I'm not finding much on that. I've heard that for a couple of days. I think it's just a rumor. I keep checking. I haven't found anything on it yet. Mr. Daniel Martel's brother. This is his brother, Ralph, and he does have some charges. In 2023, he was charged with assault with a weapon, assault, and 11 counts of failure to comply with conditions of release order. I do, however, feel like it's unrelated. It's nothing against children. Maybe he got in an argument with a girlfriend or something to that effect. That's really none of our business. I did want to put this out here because it has been found, and we're talking about speculations that are going on in the case. The last rumor that I know of right now has to do. So, yeah, I don't feel like the brother and his charges are related to the disappearance of these children at all, personally, but I respect everybody's opinion.
She's got beautiful eyes, that girl.
She is so pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty. With the mother, I do know that she did, in fact, delete her Facebook page. There is a rumor that she did reactivate it long enough to put that she was single and then delete it again. I don't have any way to verify this, so I don't know. I'm going to leave that one up in the air. So we are going to close out with an interview from the stepfather and what the mother had to say. There's only one interview from her. This interview is from the Canadian Press, and it's from 5 days ago.
I know they took their boots. That's pink boots for Lily, blue boots for Jack with dinosaurs on them. Lily had her backpack with white, and it was white with strawberries on it. I imagine now if they're in the woods that it'd be probably brown, but I don't see them carrying their backpack. I don't see them keeping a pull-up one for that long after it got soaked from the very first day. We only found the 2 boot tracks outside of the house.
Whereabouts?
Right beside the house, probably 10 feet away from the backyard.
In the backyard, okay.
Nothing new.
So that verifies that he thinks at least that Lily had the backpack on and that the boot prints were in the backyard about 10 feet away from the house.
Other than the helicopters are still in the air, and they had dogs. They took around the dogs today, and as of last night, they had 8 more drones going up and infrared. I urge the public to come out if you have anything, come out as fast as possible and get it to any detachment or any police service that you have available to get to talk to. And Jack just absolutely loves bugs, dinosaurs, anything like that. But Lily loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack, bugs. They're like best friends. Not just brother and sister.
Here is the mother's interview.
And I want them home. What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them.
Okay, my issue with that statement is if you have to tell them not to go outside on their own, that means that they have. I would think that you're having to reiterate that and to close the door behind them with the sliding glass door because they do tend to go outside by themselves. That's what that says to me.
Yeah.
Watching them, and they happen to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, "Do you hear the kids?" And he says, "No." And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call. They're both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone. They're just extremely sweet kids. I appreciate the huge search effort going on right now. But we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued. Not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert to let everyone know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that they weren't aware someone else let them know that they were missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted. We thought maybe that we found tracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they are feeling warm. We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them. They are definitely verbal, and they do have possible autism, but it's not extreme autism. It's just they have issues with school, and they don't catch up with the other kids. I just want to remain hopeful. But there's always, in a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst. Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds. And I don't want to go through that another night without them.
My issue with her interview is the fact that you heard them in the room playing, but then you didn't for about 20 minutes. And then they went outside, but the father has referenced them going outside and always having to tell them to shut the door behind them, which tells me they played outside by themselves. And this one time that they miraculously did shut the door also happens to be the time they go missing. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. You are amazing. I really appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs. Yes, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up. That was the video I had on it. So I'll pull back up the pictures and we can talk about the pictures, maybe. Oh, I do have this, I read that. So this says, it talks about what we've already talked about. To date, more than 180 tips have already been received from the public and are being followed up on. Officers have so far identified 35 people from formal interviews as part of the investigations, including community members and those closest to the children. It says, and on May 8th and 9th, the RCMP's underwater recovery team scoured bodies of water and Lansdowne Station. URT's a 2-day operation didn't uncover any evidence. So that's what we have on that. Hold on, let me grab this and I will pull up the other pictures we have. Chow Young, thank you for gifting 5 Speculation Station memberships. Again, I think you've done that before. I really appreciate that. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. Thank you so very much. Those went to Susan Tabbers, Miss Critical Error, I like that name, Jane Trier, Mir Lopez, and Mel. If you were gifted from Chow, please tell Chow thank you, and I will grab the crazy train and pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you, Chow. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm gonna pull up. I wanted to pull up these pictures that Abellis had sent. Oh, they are there. Okay. Hold on just a minute. Okay. So these are some screenshots that our lovely Abellis took and was pointing out a couple of things. I'll make it big. You'll be able to see my mouse move because of the way I have to share it. So this says the reflection seems too clear for there to be a screen on the door. Oh yeah, so there's probably not a screen on the door. And like you've circled here, that does look like the screen to a window. So
Yeah,
there's
what? Sorry, what that? I don't know if it's a screen or if it's a mat, but it's reflected in the door, and then above it in the door you can see a white. Whoops.
sorry.
There's a laundry basket,
Oh yeah.
and it's behind my moon there on the actual deck.
Yep, right here.
But it's too. It reflects too much for there to be a screen, in my opinion. A screen on the door, I mean.
Right.
I think I sent you another picture as well.
Yeah, there's a couple. Hold on.
It's not a huge thing. It's just we were talking about the sliding door. Most sliding doors have two doors, so if you're going to open one, you're going to open two, not often.
Right. I
And
don't
I
know if
don't.
I grabbed the other one, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, we were discussing whether there was a screen, and I don't. I don't see one. So yeah. Um, I'm gonna pull this back up to talk about this one. I thought this was a really good find that you did here about the fence, and there seeming to be a sledgehammer and a pickaxe here, and then obviously all the boards to make the fence. So it does appear to me that they were making another fence, and I'm wondering if that's because the kids could have possibly gotten out before, and they're trying to make sure that like, you know, just trying to make it safer for them to play in the backyard, because you see this fence here and it doesn't appear to be like maybe the kids got through it somehow, so maybe they're trying to fence in the yard so they could play back there and not get out.
And the backyard to me looks really child oriented. There's lots of toys. You know, now this fence being put up, the green grass.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know how long they have been living there? Because they said something about how this was his childhood home, and then he returned. But how long had the whole family been living there?
You know, I don't know. All I remember hearing was that it was his childhood home and that she had been there for about 2 or 3 years. That's all I know.
Hmm.
And I found it interesting that it's his childhood home, so therefore I would think it's his mother's or his mother owned it. And she's outside in a camper with the brother and he's in the house. Like, I mean, I'm guessing that, you know, the mother said, okay, you've got children, you know, y'all need a bigger area other than just a camper. So maybe that's how they got in the house. But it's weird to me that the grandmother stays in a camper and
It
oh my
could
gosh.
be, it could be temporary too. They may be in the middle of buying another trailer house or trailer
Yeah,
home. You know, we don't know, right?
right. Yep, exactly.
You know, they're living in that bus, but it could be for this summer only, or who knows?
Right. Yeah, I agree. Oh, and we were talking about these windows in the camper. These windows, they seem to be boarded up. I might have to go. Oh, maybe not. Okay, yep, they're here. So if we zoom in, that window that I just showed is this one right here.
Yeah.
It seems like it's boarded up, and then if we go to the one on the front and zoom in, this window is at the exact same location as the other one, except it's on the front, and it appears that it's boarded up as well. So I don't know if, like, maybe they put a big bathroom in there or something, and you don't want the window, people seeing you in the bathroom, but that's interesting to me.
But would it go right across the trailer though, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what would
It's
go
odd.
across the whole inside of the trailer for this window to be boarded up, and then at the okay, and how I know it's at the exact same spot is because look up here, you got this thing and this thing, right? Like, you see where these things are in location to this window, right? Now we're going to
Yeah.
look at the one on the back. Hold on. Okay. So here we're going to look at the one on the back, right? So here's the one on the back, and then here's that thing that I just showed you on the front, and the pipe that we just saw
Yeah.
on the front. So that means the
Yeah.
window is like right here. So what is going across here on the inside that this window and the other window that's like right there is boarded up?
Yeah, it's odd.
Mm-hmm. Me too, Mel. I don't like it either.
Mel is my neighbor. We don't
Really?
know each other. We don't know each other, but we live in the same area. Hi, Mel.
That's super sweet. Um, Tree said the children finished school Tuesday and they were dropped off Wednesday, a PA day, or they were out of school Thursday and Friday off. Maybe they were missing before, we don't know. And you're absolutely right. Hey, Canes. Good to see you. Um, Super Rose says ancestral home of the stepdad, generational poverty, dusty male that worked one day per week. Females love yourself more than to settle. Well, I think it's the area. Like, I've heard a lot on the news. I know he worked at a sawmill, I think, and I know that there's not a lot of jobs in the area. I mean, you think about how rural it is. I've heard that the fisheries and like sawmill are about the only places you can get a job in the area. So I don't know. I don't blame him for that. I think he was trying to work. I mean, the fact that he even got up and went to work on certain days of the week is more than we can say for other people. So I
Mhm.
try not to condemn him for that. Going into what Abellis was saying, the backyard does seem child oriented because we've got this playhouse here, and in that news article, there was a swing set because it's like the picture's taken from like right here. So on the other side of the slide, there's a swing set, there's a picnic table, there's toys. In the front yard, I'm concerned because there is like a child's like thing right here. This thing that you push is like kind of far away from the house and towards the road, what I presume to be the road.
Yeah.
So that's a bit concerning, but it does seem like a child oriented house. I know there's a lot of stuff, but I mean, people have clutter. Um, I've had clutter. I mean, I've talked about I used to live a very different lifestyle. We would find metal, scrap metal and things, and we would have it in the yard to go take to make money off of. So I've done all the things. I know all the things. So it's just I don't. I mean, it needs to be cleaned up, but I I don't know. I'm not going to condemn them for it. I would
Yeah.
ask they clean up, but like you don't. If you knew your child was going to go missing, I'm sure your whole house and your yard would be immaculate before reporters came. But in the moment that something happens, the last thing on your mind is what the yard looks like.
Yeah.
But we're also seeing the house like maybe 2 weeks after snow left. Like this
Yeah.
entire place was buried in snow. So like you can't do anything. And snow,
Right.
I don't know how, but it always leaves debris that is like mind-boggling, because even on my own patio, like when the snow melts, I'm like, how the hell did this even end up here? Like so
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. But it was I was talking to Veronica yesterday, actually, because this case started to remind me of a case in Mexico of a little girl that had gone missing. And it ended up that she never went missing. She was actually, there was an accident. She was found between the mattress and the footboard of her bed.
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
No.
that. I remember that.
So so I was just thinking, like, when I was looking at these pictures, it's like, man, so many hiding spots for little kids. And then if, they go in the wrong, the wrong thing, something, just, to me, it's like, okay, so you haven't found them out in the forest. So how well have they searched home base?
Yeah.
Like, because just under the trailer alone, like under the steps, like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was just
That,
thinking about that, like,
yeah. That white mattress there under the window. There was all kind of
exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. I'm gonna borrow a video if I can from this person. I have to see if but it kind of talks about what you're talking about. I don't know. The only reason I'm gonna use it from this person, if I can find it, is because I saw it on her channel and I don't know where else to find it. Let me see if I can locate it real quick. But it shows that it's a TikTok video. Hold on. Okay, yeah, there it is. I'm gonna pull it up. Hopefully she won't get upset with me. I don't know, but I'll drop her links. Again, she has the video. I don't know. It's from YouTube. It's from let me get it pulled up. Sorry. I know I'm all over the place. I saw it on her channel I was watching the other day and she had this. So I'll keep her muted, I suppose. Let me try to find it where she plays it. She has this and it shows here.
Vehicles, and Daniel, the stepfather, was.
Let me get it right to where she plays it. Okay, this is going to be from Cluemaniti. I will drop her links in chat. But it shows a video of them searching the property. So I'm going to borrow this segment from her, and we can watch it because I don't know where the video is otherwise. It's the only place I've seen it.
Back in this video. Okay. Check this out.
Stopped back from out at the kids' trailer and they saw 3 blacked out vehicles in the yard, assuming police vehicles, and Daniel, the stepfather, was standing outside the trailer with about 5 or 6 men. They had.
All right. See this view right here? This truck is the one I was just talking about.
She does cuss a lot, and so I just want to give y'all a trigger warning for that. I'm gonna drop her link in chat.
Right. Well, look at this. That's the same truck, ain't it? Is that the same truck or no? The color's the same.
I think those trucks would be the cops or the RCMP probably searching the area. I would think they're in the driveway searching, and it's going to show in just a second in the video where they're kind of looking under the house. This video is from TikTok. It's an unverified source. The person on TikTok doesn't know what's going on. Somebody just drove by and got a video. None of us know what's going on, but it'll give you more of an idea where they're looking around the property.
I don't see any. I don't see any RCMP decals, and it's not the right colors. But that doesn't really mean anything. They could be undercover. They could have undercover vehicles. I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm glad you said that. So all of their vehicles would be marked, you think?
Well, maybe not all, but
No,
I mean, we've
no,
all
not all.
seen. No.
Yeah, not like the SUVs like that, the big ones. But the other thing is, there is. I'm positive there's a base on in Nova Scotia, so some of these are probably military also. Like if we
Right.
could see the license plates, that would tell us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good point.
okay. I don't know if it'll show it in the video.
Because I'm almost positive
Now,
there were
there is another
military
car.
personnel assisting in the search also.
Yes,
They
Well,
have to.
I heard that as well. Yes.
Yeah.
we
So because, sorry.
Oh no, you're good. We know they are because remember when he said that he was cleared to go back and search, a person dressed in military gear told him
Okay.
that he could search, and he says he
Right.
jumped the fence. So yeah.
Yeah.
And they
So
also
these,
have search and rescue volunteers. So they could have been traveling in one of the volunteers' trucks,
Yeah.
some of them. So they're not necessarily, they may have like a small decal on the window or something, but they're if it's their own vehicle, it would be just a regular truck.
Right. Okay. Let's see. I think she plays it.
Car right here that wasn't there in the other view, right? Like parked right here. But nevertheless, this car is still there. That car is still there. This truck is here. I think it might be the same damn truck, personally. But we just never know, right?
I don't. It looks to me like the aerial view. That truck has no canopy on the back. Is that just my eyes, or it's very small on my phone? But on this picture here, look at, if you zoom in.
Yeah, I don't know that I can. Unfortunately, I would if I took a screenshot. I could. Let me get up real
Right.
close to the monitor and see.
It looks to me like the back is an open bed, like truck bed.
I know the white one at the very back is like, I'm 2 inches from the screen right now. There's something white, so it could be open because it looks like there's something white, and that would be in the truck bed area.
Yes.
So probably not. I would say it doesn't have a canopy.
That's what I see. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, we'll have to screenshot it and see. Again, this is Cluemaniti. I'm just using a section of her stuff. She covers cases, and she does drama in the true crime community, and I watch her and listen to her sometimes when I'm in the garden. I actually get a lot of work done when I listen to her. But
try that.
yeah, I would tell you that if you like to watch some drama and things like that, definitely subscribe. She's very open. She doesn't care. She talks, she cusses, she says things like she does not care what anybody thinks. So I'm giving you that warning now. I'm gonna drop her links again, but I know she had this video, and it's in just a second. I hope I haven't skipped it. It's gonna show them searching under the deck and around the house, going into what we were just talking about.
She once again, I know I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry,
No, you're
but
good.
the backyard is so green compared to the rest.
Yes, it
So
is.
it looks to me like they're at least probably maybe watering it. I mean, they just had snow, but or newly seeded for the kids. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
To me, it looks
Okay.
like, yeah, it's a work in progress. Like
Yeah.
they're in the middle or at the start of doing something to the backyard.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. And I'm glad you pointed that out. Southern said it's not the same truck. If you enlarge it, you can see. Thank you, Southern. Unless that's something printed on the top right. That's what I was seeing, because there's something white in the back of that truck where the truck bed would be, I would think. Where the canopy would be. Like you wouldn't be able to see whatever this white thing is right here in the back of the truck.
Now there is another car right here that wasn't there.
Do what, love?
So I was going to say the RCMP's vehicles are usually white background with, what is it, red, yellow, and blue? Is it red, yellow, blue decals? Or yeah.
Yeah.
Nino, right?
Oh, Nino's
Oh,
gone.
she's gone. Oh no.
We lost her.
Oh no.
Okay.
So yeah, so the vehicles are usually white with various decals with great big RCMP on the sides and the back and everywhere. And lines that are red, yellow, and I think blue.
Okay, there's Mercedes. We were like, we lost you. Bellis was trying to ask you about the decals, Mercedes. What? Go ahead and ask her. I've got to run to the potty real quick, so I'm gonna let you ask her what you were saying.
Sure. Yeah, the RCMP decals, I was saying the vehicles are usually white background with yellow, red, and blue, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
I've seen enough of them, but
I have seen the dark ones though. I have seen the dark ones, the SUVs. They're dark
Okay.
SUVs, and then when you get closer to them, on the side, you can see the marking RCMP, but it's like it's dark also. So I don't
Okay.
know. They're, I guess, the incognito cars, but
Yeah.
yeah, the traditional ones are. Yes, those are the colors.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's
Thank you.
obvious when you look at it that it's a police vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that guy who unalived how many? 22 people
Oh
in the
God. Yeah.
he had a perfectly um, disguised RCMP car. That was awful.
Oh yeah. I would think, yeah, where the septic system is, it is always green, but I wouldn't think that the whole backyard would be green like that. I know what you're talking about, but I wouldn't think it would be the whole backyard.
In the other view, right, like parked right here. But nevertheless, this car is still there. That car is still there. This truck is here. I think it might be the same damn truck, personally. But we just never know, right?
Hmm.
What is that? What is that? Red Dress Week?
Yeah, that's indigenous missing women and girls. The red dress is a symbol of
Yeah, I saw that,
for them.
Christy. Yeah. Mm. But anyway, again, that was like forever ago, so.
Laneway. One commenter alleges that the all-black vehicles are I-hit vehicles, which are the Homicide Investigative Unit team. Users allege that this team lifted up the trailer to inspect underneath it.
So I was muted. I was saying that I think it's really important to remember that Indigenous women do go missing at a higher rate. Like statistically, it's like really, really high for Indigenous women, and that Red Dress Week is important. I wanted to do some stuff, some lives on it, but I think I've missed the week, unfortunately. But that stuff is really important to remember. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No. You may want to talk to Stolen about that. Uh, the the new speculating family member that we have, Stolen. I forget the whole
Stolen
name. Stolen
spirits.
Spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's what their name is all about.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah, I would like to do some stuff on that because I feel it's really important. Trailgazer, you just about to call 911. You found what? Who was behind the pillows? My goodness.
I'm glad they're safe.
Yes, I'm glad whoever it was is safe too. So, they just referenced like lifting up the trailer to look underneath it. Now, I don't think they're lifting up the trailer, but they are looking like under the porch. I would think they're looking under the mattress and under the trailer more. Like from what this person said driving by, I'll try to back it up just a smidge, and you'll hear him say they're lifting up the trailer to look under it, which doesn't really make sense to me, but I think it does show that they're looking in all of the stuff around it. Um, Go to 1436. Okay.
So, yeah. Mm. But anyway, again, that was like forever ago. So,
laneway. One commenter alleges that the all-black vehicles are I-hit vehicles, which are the Homicide Investigative Unit team. Users allege that this
No, that truck. Okay, that is not accurate. Whoever put this on TikTok, that damn truck had a damn kegs sticker on the back, which is a sound system. That's a friend, if I had to
Mm,
guess. I mean not kegs, jegs, Jegs. It's like you see it on trucks. It's like audio system or something. I'm not real sure.
mm.
I'll mute it real quick. I'm gonna try to pause it when they show the truck driving by and there's a decal on the camper shell. That is not no damn investigative police. She's talking about the stuff they're picking up right there. See, I think that they've moved. I mean, I don't know. We'd have to see. I don't know if they've got a recent aerial photo where we could see if they moved anything, but
Yeah, I'd love to see that. I've been thinking about that actually.
that is a
Yeah.
decal, and it looks like that Jegs or Kegs. That is not a homicide van. That is a Ford Ranger. It's a damn Ford Ranger. I know that truck. I ain't no stranger. I know that truck. That's a damn Ford Ranger. All right, I'm done. All right.
Um,
And now I'm not saying like that they couldn't. I mean, maybe undercover or not undercover, but like military or like I know that what are they called? Oh my goodness, the people that work at like the parks and stuff, rangers.
Rangers.
Yeah, they could use vehicles like that, but I don't think it's no damn homicide unit. I need
In-
TikTok to stop it.
now I see a white line on top of the truck. What is that?
I don't know.
Because we saw white on the aerial picture, right?
We did. Maybe they painted the camper shell white, and maybe it is the same truck.
Hmm.
Hey, Joe. Dang. Can we go back? Because there is a white line right there on the top. So let's see if. Hold on. Let me write this timestamp down so we can come back and finish watching this clip. Hold on just a minute. We're at
It's too bad that
14:40.
the the writing at the bottom is right over the license plate.
Oh, yeah. Dang it, SS PSYOPs. Okay. So it was kind of far back. Let's see. There we go. Nope. Okay, so again, I can't zoom in, but there was a white line over that camper shell, and that I don't know that if you get real close to it, it looks like there's something white, and you can see like space in between this white object and the tailgate.
Yes.
And that truck doesn't look like a damn Ford Ranger, so.
No, I agree. And there's blue on the front too, it seems.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So
I
we'll
mean,
take it
could
back.
that just be people who came when they heard the kids were missing? Like, could it just
Yeah,
be friends and family like that came
absolutely.
to try to, yeah, like,
Yep.
I don't know. Like, I'm not sure what uh, is mysterious here or
Oh, relevant.
Yeah.
exactly like your kids are missing. You start calling people, people start showing up because they're going to start looking. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure exactly like I'm probably missing a piece of the puzzle here because I'm not getting it.
No. No, yeah, I brought up this video because somebody drove by and recorded driving by the house with the truck in the yard. Now, the reason I was pulling it up is because they reference looking at stuff around. They say they lifted the trailer, which I don't think they lifted the trailer, but it tells me that they're, lifting up all of the debris and things that are in the yard to look for the children. Now, the person on TikTok says that it's the homicide investigation unit that's in the yard and all of that. That's why you can't go with like what you hear on TikTok. I don't believe that, but
Yeah.
they're referencing the truck saying it's a homicide investigative unit, and we were trying to figure out if the trucks were police or not. So yeah, it's not really relevant. But the video talks about them searching under stuff for the kids, and so that's what I was playing of the video.
Mm.
So yeah. Mm.
I think
But
people
anyway,
watch a lot of
again, that was like
CSI,
for
They do.
Hmm.
and they think that it's like that everywhere. Like, yeah, I'd be surprised if they actually had the funding for like
Yeah.
actual individual cars for each unit. So like a lot of these departments, they're merged. So because there isn't a lot of homicide in Nova Scotia, like the homicide people are also uh I don't know, like the fire department, you know?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah. I know the picture was recent, but I'm not sure how recent the aerial view was. I know like I think all the aerial pictures we have been since the kids went missing, but I don't know how recent the one with the trucks in the yard was.
Isn't that a Honda CRV right there?
Um,
That little car?
let's see. Hold on just a minute. I've got pictures up close of those cars. So let's go back here that I
I
saw
don't
in
know
my.
my newer cars.
I just thought a CRV was a little car.
Yeah, right.
Mm, I don't know. I think it's a Honda, but they have like Honda SUVs. There's another picture here. Oh, that's a Nissan symbol. That
Oh,
might
okay.
be a Honda. I think these two cars are the same, but they could be like one of
Okay.
them's used for parts. And going back to the license plate, I could tell even with the comment there that the license plate was white at the top, and it appears that this one's white at the top with something blue in the middle. So
Right.
I would think that unless like all of the license plates are white even for the police and then there's something different that we couldn't see, I would think it's probably again a friend. Hey Esty,
I can't
Nissan
say
and
I've
Dodge.
ever seen a Nova Scotia license plate actually.
Oh,
Oh, I have. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have here.
What do they look like? Do they look like that sort of?
Yes, yes, they're white and they have like an island.
Okay.
yeah, let's look
Yeah.
it up. I'm probably spelling that wrong. Oh, yep.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
So I would think it's this one.
Oh, it's the blue nose.
The blue nose.
The
It
blue
is. Yeah.
nose.
Yes, yes.
The
I thought it was an island. It's the blue nose. Sorry, my mistake. The blue nose.
the
The
blue
blue.
nose was a very famous boat race boat.
Oh, okay. I was like the blue nose. Well, okay.
It's also on our dimes.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, that's what the Nova Scotia license plate looks like.
Thank you. That's cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I've never seen one here. They don't come all the way across the country.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll keep playing this.
forever ago. So
Laneway. One commenter alleges that the all-black vehicles are I-hit vehicles, which are the Homicide Investigative Unit team.
See, that's bullshit. Stop it.
Users allege that this team lifted up the trailer to inspect underneath it.
oh, see that is
If you lifted up that trailer, it would fall apart.
Yeah,
I
You
was
know,
just thinking that,
in
like it
my
would break in
opinion.
half.
Yeah, like the Titanic.
yeah, like people on TikTok are ridiculous. But there's a part where it shows the stepdad outside with the officer standing around some of the stuff. So yeah, people. I mean, yeah, people are saying they lifted up the trailer and looked at it. Like y'all are insane. Stop it.
It's funny. Oh,
it's,
now I've got the giggles.
that is a
I think she's still talking.
And the
about
yard. The full
Oh,
video of the
dang it, we missed a little bit. Hold on. Oh, not that far. Okay.
oh, see that is a cat,
only
a
checking
truck with
under
a
the
cab.
trailer, but in the windows and the yard. The full video of The drive-by of the investigators at the Sullivan house has been released. It appears to
Yeah.
show multiple
I think that's the same truck. That's just me.
vehicles in the laneway. One commenter alleges that the all-black vehicles are I-hit vehicles, which are the Homicide Investigative Unit team. Users allege that this team
Yeah, you see it right there?
She's looking at the vehicle.
Yeah.
Dang it. I don't know where that part is that they talk about the stepdad. Oh, I took it back. Hold on.
Kells.
LJ.
This truck?
Okay. Well, anyway, the point was that they did have the stepdad out there picking up stuff and looking under debris. Again, that was Cluemaniti. Go check her out if you're into crama and things like that. But yeah, I'm thinking that all of this stuff has been picked up and looked under. Oh, we were going to talk about the gas line. So we looked at this last time and they said, okay, we were wondering if this is the pipe because it goes to this oil thing right here that could be used to heat the house or could have at one time been used to heat the house because there is smoke coming from the thing from this in one of the pictures and you can see the soot from where they're having like a fire, okay? But this oil tank is here and that would have been used to heat the home at one point and there's a pipe, so we were wondering if that was the gas pipe, but I think they do say that it was towards the back of the house and towards the woods, so I don't know if we can see a pipe back here anywhere. I
So
don't.
I heat my house with oil, so I have an oil tank,
Mhm.
and it gets filled up. There is no line. A truck comes and delivers oil to me.
Oh, okay. So it would go underground then? Like the pipe?
Well,
But
no,
yours is inside your home, right?
no, it's outside. We're not allowed to have them inside here, but they
Um,
fill up through just a hose from the truck, and at the top of the if you go back and look at the tank itself, there are three or four tubes that come out of the tube-like things that come out. See what I mean on top? So the
I'm
one in the
confused.
middle, the
Yep.
little one in the middle on the right,
This one?
this one is where
Uh-huh.
mine gets filled up. So the truck pulls up in the driveway and has a huge long hose and delivers like 1,000 liters of oil. So there is no
Okay.
line. The line will go inside the house from the tank to inside my house, but that's only a few feet. Like,
Right.
so the white thing on the bottom, I don't think that's a line of any sort for fuel or for gas.
It could be a piece of siding.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I was just gonna say that, like a skirt for that just fell off the bottom.
Yeah.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know what this gas line is about. Um,
Yeah, 'cause I
yeah.
didn't see one in the Lord, in the backyard. And like not unless yeah, I'm not seeing one back here either.
So when we were talking about it the other day, I was picturing a line like the power lines that go through forests, Nino? That's what I was picturing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could actually see the electrical connection. I saw it in a picture. I was surprised they have electricity, but on it, yeah, apart from that tank, I would
Yeah,
have no idea what they would be referring to in terms of gas line.
yeah,
Apart from that, because that what you're saying actually makes sense. There's no reason why it would have to be long because it's right there beside the house. So
yeah,
it
The
goes
yeah.
directly into the house.
Yeah, mine is exactly like that. And it goes through a little hole in the wall,
Yeah,
and it goes to my furnace.
yeah.
And that's it. That's not a gas line. And they
And
yeah.
that
wouldn't call it oh,
the
right.
trailer doesn't look like it has anything external. So
Right.
yeah,
The
I don't know what they mean by gas line.
the Jersey lady said the gas line is a huge pipeline that runs through the whole province. So
Okay.
let's see. Hold on. Let's look it up.
And they also, like for oil, for furnace oil, we wouldn't call it a gas line.
Yeah, it's not.
You know, it's a different type of, I don't know, fuel, if you want to call it that.
I don't
We
know
have,
if this is going to pull up anything or not, but we'll try.
I have neighbors who have natural gas. I don't want it because of earthquakes, but they go underground. Those
Yeah, exactly.
liquid.
So it says footprints were found near a gas line by Lilly and Jack Sullivan, who had been missing in Nova Scotia since May 2nd, 2025. So what gas line runs in Nova Scotia? Maybe. Maritimes and Northeast Pipeline. The Maritimes and Northeast Pipeline is a natural gas transmission pipeline that runs from the former Stable Offshore Emergency Project, or SOEP, gas plant in Goldboro, Nova Scotia, Canada, to Draycote, Massachusetts.
Hmm.
This pipeline has introduced natural gas to areas of Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Maine, and the Northeast U.S. that previously didn't have natural gas. Let me see if there's images. Oh, it gives us a map.
Oh, good.
So would this, if this, I'm assuming this is the Bear Paw pipeline. Would this run through the area where they're at? Like that's Nova Scotia, right?
I have no idea.
I think they're further north.
Further north?
What is that's Brown?
Let's look at another map.
I think that was in the state. Oh, maybe not.
This is in the States. That one might have been in the States. This shows a pipeline, but I can't.
Oh, yeah. See, so number 8 going
Mhm.
down towards number 11. I think that's where they're.
I'm gonna have to get close because I can't zoom
Oh,
in
right.
and it won't. Let me see if I click view image. Oh, okay, there we go. Much better. So you
So
said number
number
8.
8, and then that line that goes down. Yeah. So
Okay.
that seems to be in their area, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, I mean it would appear, yeah, because I remember the map showing something, yeah,
Or
that
even
looked like that.
7. I think more 8 though, like more the smaller pipe, the smaller one of the two. I
Right.
don't know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm guessing basically.
Right, right. Yeah, we're all just speculating. Wrong area. It's there, wrong area. Okay. Between
I
6
think
and 7.
I
Let's
think
see.
maybe somebody misused a word and it's not necessarily a gas line. I think they mislabeled it because um how did the little boy get all like get to the other side of the province?
Yeah.
So this is not the area where they're at. Like, I mean, it could be going through the woods back there. There could be a pipeline of gas that goes through there. Like you're saying that this is not even in the province.
No, that's the province.
No, it's the province. It's just
Okay.
to me it seems like I feel like maybe somebody misused a word and instead of they said pipeline and they should have said I don't know something else because I have a hard time imagining that there would be a pipeline anywhere near a reserve and they're not benefiting from it.
Oh, well, that's a
That
good
makes
idea.
sense. Yeah.
The simple fact that they have an oil tank and they have a pile of wood in the like in the driveway. Like they're
Yeah.
using both. So I think somebody probably just like they used the wrong word and went with pipeline, but it was probably, I mean, for all we know, it could have been a hose. And
Yeah.
Right. Right.
like the vocabulary in this part of the country is very uh Acadian.
Right.
It's very it's a little mixed with several influences.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
yeah. I wanted to show y'all just real quick while this page is up. So I was trying to look at areas searched for Lily and Jack, right? And I clicked on that picture. And when I click on it, I get access denied. And that goes again into the what we were talking about with the censorship out of Canada because they're like, nope, you're in the US and you're not getting that. So we'll have to look at it like this, I suppose. Um,
What is that?
it's supposed to be the area searched for Lily and Jack. Somebody said that if I pulled that up, I could see the pipeline. Let's see. I see the road. I can't, it's probably going to tell me I don't have access. Oh, this is on Reddit, so I can, but I can't. Oh, whoa.
Hmm.
Um, I can't, I don't see a pipeline. I see little roads, but I can't, again, I can't zoom into it either.
That's a golf course, though.
Oh,
The,
yeah.
that's not the area.
Look at me over here spreading misinformation like a mofo. All right, let's try again.
but are pipelines just out in the open like that? Like aren't
Yeah.
they really? Okay.
I I don't know. I've never seen it personally, but it seems to me like it wouldn't be. I like when I hear a pipeline, I think about a pipeline running through the woods. Yes, I would think, but I've never seen one in person. I could be completely wrong about that. I don't know. Mm, it doesn't seem very safe. I'm thinking of like probably Alaska or something where they have the oil lines running through. Hmm.
Pipelines that I have seen and I'm remembering were like maybe maybe 50 centimeters off the ground and just running through the landscape.
Really, I've never seen that. Wow.
Hmm.
In northern BC, they had somebody blowing up um, parts of
Well, yeah,
pipeline. Remember? Yeah,
like
exactly.
I could
Yeah,
see that happening. That's why I'm
yeah,
thinking, like, isn't that kind of dangerous? Because then anybody could sort of like
yeah,
go mess with it.
yeah.
That's
That's
kind
what
of
we
stupid.
have. But I mean, otherwise they would have to dig trenches from one end to the other. I don't know. I mean, maybe they do it now. I'm not sure. But I've seen those. I've seen the pipelines off the ground.
Yeah, I've seen it too. But again, I could be
Hmm.
thinking about Alaska. Not sure. So we don't know. It could be like a pipeline by the house or like a big natural gas pipeline. I'm sure there's aerial shots that show it. It says there's a natural gas pipeline that runs through there. So I'll leave that one up in the air for now until I can get some aerial shots. It's
I'll do
2020.
some research later.
Okay, cool. He does have a job. He works on and off at the local sawmill. So when they have work, he goes to work. When they don't, he doesn't. I thought most of the time pipelines are underground, but I do think there are some that are above ground. And actually, now that I think about it, Nova Scotia is an island, so I don't know how far underground they would be able to go due to water. Like, you know how, like, I'm thinking, like, in Florida, you can't build a basement. From what I've heard, you can't build a basement in Florida because it's like water or something. There's a reason you can't build a basement in Florida, and it has to do with it being wet and watery or whatever, like because
Mm.
of the location. So maybe it's the same thing there. Like you can't put stuff underground as much because of the water and stuff. Excuse me. Pipeline in Pictou County. Okay, thank you, Jeremiah. All right, so and we did verify that this camper is like in the ground there. Um, so it's meant to stay. I wonder what this is coming out the window. I've seen that a couple of times. Maybe an antenna.
That looks like a chimney to me.
Oh, yeah. You're
I'm
right.
not so sure that it's dug into the ground. I think they might have put something like a skirt around the whole thing for rodents and snow and water and. But
Okay.
it could be. I can't really see it, but
Yeah. You're I mean, that's the headlights and it's up off the ground. I mean, the tires would be right here and that area is like above ground, so maybe it is just skirted in. Hmm. I'm appreciative for you being here, love. So Trailgazer said I'm on an island and the pipeline is buried. So maybe not then. No, we're not an island, we're connected to the mainland. Okay.
it
Can't
depends, I guess, on the ground. Some water table is higher in areas, and it depends on if it's sandy or um, muddy or not muddy. What's the word? It could be rock or sand or.
yeah. Um I did pin the StreamYard link if anybody wants to come up. I saw that you were saying that you're connected to the mainland, and I just looked at a daggum map of that and didn't even think about. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I didn't know how far. Like I didn't know if water played a part. So here you can see that truck that's in the driveway very clearly, and it's definitely not the same truck and has an open bed there. So I think that solves that question. It looks like a stovepipe, and it looks skirted for temperature control. Yeah, I could see it. Okay. I wondered about this area over here. Like, I don't know why, but that's another thing I worried about was them going through this fence and going over there.
Yeah,
Like,
like maybe closer to the house itself, that little bit. They
yeah.
might be able to crawl under there.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. Or stand on top of the. I don't know what this is, but they might could climb up there and go over.
What is
But
that?
I don't know. And this door, by the way, we pointed it out last time, but like if you open this door and come out, unless you come out right here, you're going to fall. So I don't think that door is used. Just by the way.
Oops.
Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. New Glasgow has natural gas, some of it. Okay. Wendy says the building that collapsed in Florida had a basement. It flooded constantly and had drainage issues. So I've heard.
Mm.
So I might be wrong about that. I heard. I guess I would say I've heard. I can't verify that. You're not supposed to build basements in Florida. I don't know what that is. It looks like something with a little cover over it. Like maybe. I'm thinking
Yeah.
like those child toys at the playground that's like a school bus and it'll have the top on it, but
All
that's
right.
probably not what it is.
Or maybe a picnic table under there.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe a table of some sort. I don't know. I don't know what would have like something right here and then be covered. Unless it's maybe a dog pen with something white on top, like sitting on top,
Oh
like a
yeah.
dog kennel.
And speaking of basements, a lot of areas have radon gas that seeps into basements. So that's a problem for a lot of people who have basements.
Radon? What is
Radon,
radon?
Radon,
Uh-huh.
and it's actually I'm not exactly sure, but it's not good for humans anyway.
Right. Um, Kent, I don't know if you were here earlier. You said there's two openings in the fence, but in my opinion, I don't think they walked off the property. We
Hmm.
were talking about that in a previous video, like here with the sun, you can see that there's slats in the fence. There is an opening right here. And then this appears to not have slats, and there's an opening right here. And Abellis, who is on panel with me right now, she's so sweet and lovely, pointed out that there's wood here, and there's a garden pick here, and there's actually a sledgehammer. Let me get the better picture right here. So we're questioning if they were trying to see, there's that opening, and then the fence is open, and the sledgehammer and the other sledgehammer or pickaxe and the wood that she pointed out right there. Um, I was questioning if maybe the kids had gotten out before, and they were trying to redo the fence or make it better so that the kids couldn't get out again. You know what I mean? Like maybe they were in the middle of trying to fix it. I
So
don't
to
know.
me, it's like the whole place was not wide open to the wilderness. I think they were being careful to me.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, they had toys and they had, um, I don't know. I just, it's hard. We don't know. So,
Yep, and we're not going to know a lot. That's why I wanted to make sure to read that article and share with you guys what we do know. I'm going to tell you again to not trust anything unless, it's been verified. Even here, I try to reiterate that everything we do is all just, conversations and speculations. But if you see something in my title or on my thumbnails, it's going to be something I pretty much verified, like talking about the fence in today's title. With the screenshot that lovely Abellis made for us, I can pretty much verify that that looks like they're building a new fence. I mean, that's what it. I don't know. I guess that is a speculation, I suppose, but I don't know. It looks like it to me, considering that this is done, this is not. Looks new. There's wood. There's hammer. There's axe. I wasn't there and I didn't see, but it looks like it to me.
and it to
Oh
me
yeah,
too.
there's no screen. You're totally right. I didn't see
Right.
it the first time, but yeah, there's no screen on that door.
Oh,
Huh.
right here. Yeah.
No, the sliding door. There's no screen. You know how they
Are
have
you
two doors?
are you a little bit behind maybe?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm still seeing the screen door. Yeah.
Okay, now she's got the screen door, not the screen door,
And
the
the
sliding door.
reflection, I can see
Yeah.
the reflections. And even
Yeah.
because at first I thought, oh, well, maybe the screen um is open and it's on the other, like on the other side. But no, it's not. There's no screen at all.
Yeah.
Not even
Yeah.
a rip screen or anything.
And
Weird.
about the fence too, if that wood had been sitting under snow for the last 6 months, it would not look new like that.
Yeah. It does look pretty new. Mm-hmm. Somebody suggested maybe they were collecting pallets and trying to make fence. I mean, it's possible, but that looks like new lumber to me for
Yeah.
the most part. Yeah. Um, Back to the screen door, our lovely Abellis also pointed this out. We were trying to figure out if there was a screen door on the sliding glass door because that would be two doors that they would have to open and both would have to be shut in order for, the doors to be shut. And it does not appear that there is a screen on this. This could be a mat or a screen of some sort, and it's reflected in the window right here. It is rectangular, and then she pointed out also that there is a laundry basket right here that's reflected in the window right here. And if you can see that good of a reflection, there's probably not a screen door on it.
And the left side, there is no handle, so there is no way to open that left side. That's just built in. Yeah.
Yep, right here's the
In
handle.
my opinion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they've searched like all of this and all of this. We listened to the dispatch audio and they talk about searching the house again, implying that it's already been searched once and searching Lansdowne Lake. It was Lansdowne Lake, somebody just asked. Oh yeah, from the sawmill, that's right. Y'all are right. It could be.
Right.
Yep. You're absolutely right. Um yeah, I just don't know. I mean, my biggest thought is again that they walk to the end of. There's a clearer picture of that wood, and then the pick and the stuff, and then the gate. But my thought process is that they could have walked down to the end of the driveway and got picked up by the bus. But then Mercedes pointed out that not a lot of people drive through that area. And she even pointed out that on the dispatch audio, we hear a woman that called 911 and was like, "Hey, there's this random black CRV hanging out at a closed down park," and they go and look into it. So people noticed right away. If I think about my property, there's a long, well, not my property, where I live at, my landlord's property, who is also from Nova Scotia. It's a long driveway, and like if somebody even comes in at the end of the driveway, like we notice immediately, and we're like, "Who's that? Who's here?"
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Corey says those children would have no problem going under the house. No, I hope they've searched it. Still listening, even though we have a tornado warning for a few minutes. Oh, be careful. I love storms too. Stay safe, Wisconsin. Absolutely. Stay safe, Archer. What did a name here say? Lumber looks like he takes scrap lumber home to build the fence and other stuff. Probably. It would make sense because, you're saving money doing it that way and, you know, um, being able to accomplish things at the same time.
It looks like posts to me at the bottom of the wood pile. Oh no, maybe it's just shadow. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying, but yeah, I think it's shadows where these are pushed out further than those. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. I agree. Kent said he could be taking cutoffs home from work that like rejects. I know at like Home Depot and Lowe's, they'll have a scrap pile of wood. And I used to do wood burnings and things, and I would get stuff from the scrap pile of wood and just cut it down to what I needed. So, I mean, people do it all the time. Jeremiah, I'll pull up the lake for you, sweetheart. Hold on. So in the dispatch audio, they say that they had divers out pretty much immediately to search the lake, and they were also taking airplanes around the area. They took an airplane and were searching around the lake. Hi, everyone. Pretty much immediately, and they had divers checking the lake pretty much immediately. Let me find that thing.
She's so cute. I mean,
They
he is
are.
too, but look at her face.
I
She looks so
know.
mischievous.
She is so adorable.
Too bad
So
she's
is
so
he.
quiet, though.
Oh, yeah. I don't think, no, that's not. I thought it was before the dispatch audio. Nope, there it is. Okay. So this shows their house is right here. Now, I don't have the legend for the map, so I don't know how far this is, but this is Let me make sure. Okay. I was like, can y'all even see it? This is Lansdowne Lake, and then there appears to be two other bodies of water right here.
I
Jack
don't
is
think
so
it's that
tiny.
far.
I don't think it's that far either, especially considering that the former search and rescue headquarters is right here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking maybe maybe they had the headquarters there because they may have needed power from Lansdowne Station. If that's
Oh yeah,
for whatever.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, in the dispatch audio, we hear them talking about having trouble reaching the officers that are out there in the area. So yeah, absolutely. Um, Skid victim and Bernice, thank y'all for being here. Skid victim said these kids most likely died accidentally, maybe illicit potential drug. Probably happened Wednesday. They panicked of the prison sentences if they called police to report their kids died of a drug overdose. I again, we speculate here. I guess it could be possible. I personally, my issue with that is that the way, like, he referenced being questioned for 4 hours by the RCMP, and the way they've been searching and having dogs out and things like that. I think that they would have found something by now if that happened, or maybe, we're going to hear about it in the next couple of days. I think that if the parents did something, it's usually pretty quick, and that we find out, that the parents get found out. Sometimes not quite as quick, but I think that would be the case. Just like, I mean, with Sebastian Rogers, Summer Wells, um, who else? Dylan Ellers. Like, these children all vanished without a trace, and like, again, Sebastian Rogers is a conundrum for me because I don't understand how you disappear out of a subdivision like that where there's cameras everywhere, but evidently that's what happened. Summer Wells and Jack and Lily Sullivan are all in rural areas, which I think it could be easier to get a child out of a rural area, but then you take into consideration what Mercedes said about everybody knowing when somebody's driving around. So I don't know, man. They never went in those woods. It was a front. Their bodies are nowhere near the house, just my assumption. I mean, yeah, it's a possible speculation. We don't know until we know, right? So, yeah. And you're allowed to speculate here as long as you say, like you said, just my assumption or in my opinion and things like that.
Yeah, actually, one of my observations is I don't see why the parents would be afraid of prison sentences, because in Canada, prison is a joke. Our sentences are a
Really?
joke. Absolutely. Like, we have people that deserve the death penalty and they're out in 6 years. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Carla Homolka. Or was that
Yeah.
12
wow.
years?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. So, I mean,
And our maximum sentence for death is 25 years.
yeah, you can't
But
do
that
more than
doesn't.
25 years.
But that doesn't mean they don't get. That's 25 years to parole. That doesn't mean they'll get out in 25 years. Like, I don't think.
No, but a lot of times it does. Like,
Yeah, a lot
because
of times.
our whole system is based on rehabilitation, not punishment.
Yeah.
So you
But
can decapitate someone, you can kill a lot of people, and as long as you are committed to your rehabilitation, I mean, hey.
And we literally have that case, right?
Yes. Yes.
And, but I people like, I don't think Bernardo will ever get out. I don't think Williams will ever get out. And what's
It
his
just
name?
wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me, but I don't
Yeah.
know. MacArthur too. What was his first name? I forget. Anyway, the one who killed the 8 gay men in Toronto.
Oh, wow.
Ouch! Smack my head. That'll help me.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, Nino's right. It's not the greatest victim.
Yeah, we were talking last time about caves in the area. We looked it up and all I saw was, like, advertisements for, like, caves near the ocean and things like that. So there are caves in the area. I mean, I suppose if they've got big caves that, like, are tourist places, that they would have small ones. So maybe, I don't know if there are any caves or old mines in the area.
Old wells is what I'm worried about.
Right, that was it. Thank you.
Yeah, the wells. Yeah. I think Abellis is right with the wells. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For Summer, well, her last name is Wells too, but for Summer Wells as well, I'm I've always thought about a well, a hidden well somewhere.
Right. Skid said if those two children did what the parents tried to narrate, they'd been found dead or alive. So what happened to them? That's a good question. I honestly think that if they were wandered off, like I said earlier, that pamper would have been found because it would have come off by now, and them dogs out there sniffing would have found it. So I think they might have got picked up, but I don't know. I don't think anybody does. Just like with, like we were talking just now about Summer and Sebastian and Dylan Ellers, who's from Nova Scotia as well. And then
Are they
you think
sure?
about. Sorry, love. Go ahead.
Are they sure the pull up didn't come off when he was still home? Because I know a kid that, like, as soon as he wakes up, that's the first thing he does. He takes off his pull up.
Yeah, mine did too. I would think that they would. I would think that if it was at home, they would have found it. Like, because they're saying that he's wearing the pull up and it would have been still wet from the night before. So I would think if they're coming out on the news and saying that he's in a pull up and some dinosaur boots and it would have been wet from the night before, that they haven't found the pull up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do have a 16-month-old or 18-month-old named Meadow. Hey, Miss King. Good to see you. Bernardo
Oh
and
wow,
I don't know how to
Homolka.
Homolka were my next door neighbors, and I was 12 at the time they committed the horrible crime. Super scary. I don't think he will ever get out, not fully. Oh wow, Sam, that's interesting. That is crazy. I'm so sorry you had to deal with that.
Those crimes were horrible too. Ugh.
I don't know
Sick,
which ones.
sick people.
Yeah, sick people do sick things. That's for sure. Okay, well, I reckon that we'll close it out for the day because that's about all I've got to talk about. I do want to remind everybody again to just be careful where you're getting your information from, especially if they don't present what their theory is as a possible speculation or, their thought process. And try to get stuff from the news as much as you can. When you hear things on TikTok about them lifting up a whole entire trailer, just, maybe click away. I appreciate you, Abellis and Mercedes, for coming up and talking with us, being from Canada.
Thank you for
Thank
having me.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed it very much.
Same. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's these sad stories, but
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah. It's sort of like oh, never mind. I was just gonna go off on a tangent, and then my brain stopped. So
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate y'all, and I'm sure we'll if any new updates come out, we'll continue covering the case, and I'll have y'all up again if y'all are available on those days.
awesome.
would love to help you. I don't
Yeah.
know much, but you know.
Well, you know the area and the country and all of that, so it helps a lot.
All right. Well, thank you. See you
Um,
soon, Nino.
Same. I'll see you around.
Bye,
all
chat.
right.
Bye,
Bye.
Dave. Bye,
Bye.
Bye.
Basil.
Oh, Basil says bye. Thank you guys. Cara requested Bruce the cow before we go. That thing slobbers everywhere, but I'll pull him up. Let's look at Bruce the cow. What is he gonna do today? I suppose he'll bake some cookies. Look, there's a baby. I think it's muted. Oh, it's a goat. Look at that goat jumping all over the place. Let me see if I can. Oh, there we go. Goodness gracious. Ew. Look at the goat.
Right.
Daggum cow. Well, that's a big old jug of milk.
Gross. Gross.
There's the goat. The goat. Bruce pushed the goat. My goodness. That guy is hilarious. All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Please spread the flyer of Jack and Lily as much as you can and pray that they get brought home. Sebastian, Summer, all of the children. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us and being here today. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all tomorrow. If nobody has told you, you are important, you are enough, you are special, and you are loved. And thank you all so much for hanging out, supporting our family, and supporting the speculating family, and hitting the thumbs up. I really appreciate y'all, and thank you for sharing your thoughts, opinions, and speculations. It was interesting to hear a lot of the things you had to say that, you know, I haven't thought of, or other people haven't thought of. You never know. That's why I like when you guys share your opinions and what you think could have happened, because you might think of something that none of us have thought about. And I appreciate Abellis for pointing out about the wood and the hammer and the pickaxe, and Abellis and Mercedes for coming up. I appreciate y'all so much. Love y'all so much. Like Cara said, thank you for being here, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.
Listen up, I gotta tell you, there is something you should